Good afternoon, everyone. Our ministers will be arriving in a short while. With huge round of applause, let us all welcome our Honorable CM of Gujarat, Shri Bhupendra Bhai Patel, our Honorable Union Minister, Dr. Mansukh Mandavia sir, Honorable Minister of State, Dr. Manisha Vakil ma'am, Ms. S. Aparna ma'am, CEO GRIT, Ms. Adra ma'am, Secretary Planning Division, and Shri Swaroop sir, P. Swaroop sir, Industries Commissioner, onto the stage. Please give our dignitaries a huge round of applause. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. On behalf of Gujarat Rajya Institution for Transformation, the Sports, Youth and Cultural Activities Department, Government of Gujarat, and Gujarat Industrial Development Corporation, GIDC, I extend a warm welcome to all of you to today's seminar on Sports Goods Manufacturing Hub in Chhotaudepur, from traditional skills to industrial scale. આજના આ મહત્વપૂર્ણ સેમિનારમાં આપ સૌનું હાર્દિક સ્વાગત છે. Today's seminar brings together policymakers, industry leaders, investors, sports institutions, and practitioners to deliberate on how Gujarat can emerge as a leading destination for sports goods manufacturing. Through focused discussion, we seek to explore the opportunities, challenges, and strategic interventions required to transform Chhotaudepur into a globally competitive manufacturing hub that generates employment, promotes industrial growth, and strengthens India's position in global value chains. With this, may I request Ms. Adra Agrawal ma'am to kindly felicitate our honorable ministers. May I request Mr. Devang to kindly bring in the memento. May I request ma'am to kindly felicitate our Honorable CM, Shri Bhupendra Patel sir. Please give sir a huge round of applause. May I request ma'am, Adra ma'am, to kindly felicitate our Honorable Union Minister, Dr. Mansukh Mandavia sir. May I request Ms. Stuti Charan ma'am, our joint CEO GRIT, to kindly felicitate Dr. Manisha Vakil ma'am. Please give ma'am a huge round of applause. Thank you so much, ma'am. Without further ado, may I request our CEO GRIT, Ms. S. Aparna ma'am, to kindly deliver the welcome address and set the context for today's seminar.
Good afternoon, namaskar. આપ સૌનું અહીં સ્વાગત છે. It is indeed a very proud privilege for us to, on behalf of the GAD Planning, the Government of Gujarat and GRIT, to welcome our Honorable Chief Minister of Gujarat, Shri Bhupendra Bhai Patel Sahib, the Honorable Union Minister for Sports, Shri Mansukh Mandavia Sahib, the Honorable Minister from the State Government, Mrs. Manisha Vakil Madam, who is also the in-charge Minister, Prabhari Mantri for Chhotaudepur. It is also our privilege to have all three of them here today, and an honor to welcome the distinguished dignitaries that we have in the room. I start with the Joint Secretary in the Ministry of Sports, Sri Vinil Krishna, the Director in the Ministry of Sports, Harilal Ji, the author of the definitive report of Niti Aayog on sports manufacturing, Sri Sanjeet Singh Ji, our Director General of Sports Authority of Gujarat, Sri Wada. Our senior most bureaucrat is present here, so I have all confidence that this initiative will be taken forward. We have Madam Jayanti Ravi here, who is also ACS Revenue in the government of Gujarat. We have officers from the CM office. We have leading personalities from the sports ecosystem, not only in Gujarat, but throughout the world. Here, the delegation is led by Shri Jalaj Dani Sahib, who is the founder of Sportscom International, a very renowned industrialist, but I think more known for his passion for the sports ecosystem. I also welcome all the sports enthusiasts who are here today. These include sports goods manufacturers who are in the upstream of the sports manufacturing value chain, sports federations who are present here, and entrepreneurs of this region. A very warm welcome to all of you. माननीय मुख्यमंत्री श्री ની સૂચના અનુસાર અત્યારે હવે मैं अभी आपको हिंदी सर हाँ मैं अभी आपको एक छोटा सा परिप्रेक्ष्य पर्सपेक्टिव देना चाहूंगी on why we have this seminar here today. So the seminar, as you know, is on sports goods manufacturing hub in Chhotaudepur. Chhotaudepur, Baroda ke sanlagn, next to Baroda, it is a district which is basically known as a tribal district. Next. So if you look at the sports good manufacturing industry, globally इसका size लगभग 700 billion कहा जाता है, जिसमें sports apparel, sports equipment, फिटनेस इक्विपमेंट सारा आ जाता है, इवन फुटवेयर आता है, और इनमें से स्पोर्ट्स इक्विपमेंट का जो अगर इकोनॉमिक साइज या मार्केट साइज देखा जाए तो दैट इज 20%, लगभग 140 बिलियन का है. और ये अनुमान है कि अगले 5-7 साल में बाय 2036 ये 6% के ग्रोथ से 263 बिलियन तक पहुंच जाएगा. आज की तारीख में इसमें ज्यादातर यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स, चाइना, वियतनाम जैसे देश जो हैं दे आर गिविंग अ लार्जर कंट्रीब्यूशन. इनफैक्ट एक्सपोर्ट्स में चाइना का कंट्रीब्यूशन लगभग 48% माना जाता है. भारत की बात करें तो भारत में जो स्पोर्ट्स मैन्युफैक्चरिंग है वो ज्यादातर नॉर्थ स्टेट्स में, खास करके पंजाब और वेस्टर्न यूपी में पाया जाता है, जलंधर, लुधियाना और मेरठ में ज्यादा है. बट इन एडिशन मुंबई में भी और तमिलनाडु साउथ में भी थोड़े से इक्विपमेंट मैन्युफैक्चरर्स, अपैरल मैन्युफैक्चरर्स हैं. सो इट इज अ लिमिटेड लैंडस्केप इन टर्म्स ऑफ मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कैपेबिलिटी. फिर भी भारत में लगभग एक्सपोर्ट्स काफी होता है, 250 मिलियन इफ आई एम नॉट मिस्टेकन. संजीत विल गिव द फिगर्स. एंड सर द एक्सपोर्ट्स आर गोइंग टू एडवांस्ड कंट्रीज लाइक यूएसए एक्सेट्रा. मतलब जो बन रहा है वो अच्छे क्वालिटी का बन रहा है. परंतु आज की तारीख भी जो हमारे स्पोर्ट्स इक्विपमेंट की आवश्यकता है, डिमांड है, उसमें 60% इंपोर्ट हो रहा है. एंड इंपोर्ट यू नो द टिपिकल यूजुअल सस्पेक्ट्स जो बोलते हैं, चाइना, जापान, यूएसए से ज्यादातर इंपोर्ट हो रहा है. तो भारत सरकार और राज्य सरकार दोनों समझती है कि देयर इज अ ग्रेट पोटेंशियल फॉर इन्वेस्टिंग इन एंड डेवलपिंग स्पोर्ट्स मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, स्पोर्ट्स गुड्स मैन्युफैक्चरिंग इन आवर कंट्री. और उस परिप्रेक्ष्य में हम गुजरात की बात करना चाहेंगे. अगर आप गुजरात देखें तो गुजरात में जो मुख्य ड्राइवर्स हैं फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर इंडस्ट्री, एक तो ये है कि हमने पहली बार शायद, ऑफ कोर्स खेल महोत्सव सर अपने 20 साल से कर रहे हैं जब से पीएम सर यहाँ सीएम थे, परंतु इस बार जो विजन बना है विकसित गुजरात 2047, मतलब अगले 25 साल का जो विजन बना है इस राज्य का, उसमें हमने लिविंग वेल एंड अर्निंग वेल, सिर्फ कमाना नहीं पर अच्छे से जीने का हर एक नागरिक को अधिकार रहेगा, और उसमें हमने स्पोर्ट्स को एक इम्पोर्टेंट एलिमेंट तरीके लिया है। तो ये सबसे पहला ग्रोथ ड्राइवर है कि जो हमारी विजन है राज्य की, उसमें स्पोर्ट्स को दर्जा या जगह दिया गया है। सेकेंड इज दैट गुजरात इज गोइंग टू होस्ट द कॉमनवेल्थ गेम्स, ऑल ऑफ यू आर अवेयर, in 2030, and we are also bidding through the central government to host the Olympics. But apart from that, next 10 years में 2026 से लेके 2036 तक लगभग हर साल एक इंटरनेशनल इवेंट का प्लानिंग चल रहा है। कुछ ऑलरेडी अवार्ड हो गए हैं, कुछ बिड स्टेज में है, बट द इंटेंट इज क्लियर दैट वी वुड लाइक टू डेवलप गुजरात, इंक्लूडिंग ऑफ कोर्स अहमदाबाद, एज द मेन स्पोर्ट्स हब फॉर इंटरनेशनल इवेंट्स। और उसकी तैयारी में राज्य सरकार ने लगभग 4 लाख करोड़ की इन्वेस्टमेंट प्लान की है सर। ये इन्वेस्टमेंट स्पोर्ट्स इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में है, एआई में है, टूरिज्म में है, क्योंकि जब गेम्स होती हैं तो टूरिज्म भी होता है। आप लोग सब अभी वर्ल्ड कप फीफा देख रहे होंगे जो यूएसए में हो रहा है, तो ऑल ऑफ दिस इन्वेस्टमेंट इज ऑल्सो प्लान्ड। स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ने इसकी भी प्लानिंग शुरू कर दी है और काम भी शुरू किया है। और लास्ट चौथा जो मुद्दा एक ग्रोथ ड्राइवर तरीके आप देख सकते हैं कि सिर्फ स्पोर्ट्स मैन्युफैक्चरिंग या स्पोर्ट्स इवेंट नहीं, परंतु स्पोर्ट्स इकोसिस्टम की भी इन्वेस्टमेंट चल रही है, जिसमें अगेन अहमदाबाद में जो मेडिसिटी है उसमें हम वर्ल्ड क्लास का स्पाइन एंड स्पोर्ट्स इंजरी सेंटर बनाना चाहते हैं, जिसका लगभग 295 करोड़ का आयोजन है। सो एंटायर इन्वेस्टमेंट इज अराउंड द स्पोर्ट्स इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर। इसलिए हम समझते हैं कि गुजरात इज द लॉजिकल डेस्टिनेशन फॉर इन्वेस्टमेंट्स इन स्पोर्ट्स गुड्स मैन्युफैक्चरिंग। स्पोर्ट्स गुड मैन्युफैक्चरिंग हम यहाँ क्यों करना चाहते हैं और राज्य सरकार इस पे क्यों कटिबद्ध है, और राज्य सरकार को क्यों कॉन्फिडेंस है कि दिस इज द बेस्ट प्लेस टू डेवलप दिस, उसमें मैं सिर्फ 4 मुद्दे कहना चाहूंगी। एक, नीति, जो राष्ट्रीय और राज्य की नीति है उसमें स्पोर्ट्स को जगह दिया गया है। तो गुजरात स्पोर्ट्स पॉलिसी 2022 से 2027 का अभी भी कार्यरत है, उसमें भी स्पोर्ट्स इकोसिस्टम, स्पोर्ट्स डेवलपमेंट, स्पोर्ट्स इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के साथ स्पोर्ट्स गुड्स मैन्युफैक्चरिंग के इंसेंटिव का प्रावधान है। सेकंड, हाल ही में माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी ने विकसित गुजरात इंडस्ट्रियल पॉलिसी का ऐलान किया है। उस पॉलिसी में कुछ चुनिंदे सेलेक्टेड थ्रस्ट एरियाज डिफाइन करने किए गए हैं, जिसमें आप देख सकते हैं स्पोर्ट्स गुड्स एंड इक्विपमेंट उस पॉलिसी में एक सेलेक्टेड थ्रस्ट सेक्टर के रूप में लिया गया है। मैन्युफैक्चरिंग ऑफ टॉयज और मैन्युफैक्चरिंग ऑफ फुटवेयर, जिसमें स्पोर्ट्स फुटवेयर भी आ जाता है। सो ये सेकंड है, और उनके कई सारे इंसेंटिव्स हैं जो अभी हमारे इंडस्ट्रीज कमिश्नर जुड़ेंगे तो ही विल टॉक अबाउट इट। और थर्ड जो पॉलिसी अपना लैंडस्केप है, उसमें माननीय मुख्यमंत्री श्री के आदेश के अनुसार ग्रिट, जो हम एक थिंक टैंक है, हमने रीजनल इकोनॉमिक मास्टर प्लान्स बनाए थे। हर एक मास्टर प्लान के हर एक रीजन के लिए हमने कुछ प्रायोरिटी सेक्टर्स पसंद किए थे आफ्टर स्टेक होल्डर कंसल्टेशन एंड सम मेगा प्रोजेक्ट। तो सेंट्रल गुजरात में हमने स्पोर्ट्स मैन्युफैक्चरिंग हब इन छोटा उदयपुर, जो मैडम का जिला है, उसको हमने पसंद किया है एज वन ऑफ द मेगा प्रोजेक्ट्स हियर इन central Gujarat. So that's how we come to this seminar. Devang back. Okay. सेकेंड जो मैं एलिमेंट या फैक्टर कहना चाहती थी, एक तो नीति विषयक हमारे पास एक मालखू है। सेकेंड है कि अगर कोई भी इंडस्ट्री सेटअप करनी है, कोई भी सेक्टर को डेवलप करना है, तो उसके रॉ मटेरियल्स यहाँ पे उपलब्ध हैं। तो अगर पुरानी बात करें तो हमारे यहाँ बैट बनता है, बैट के लिए लकड़ा चाहिए, बस इतना ही होता था। पर अभी जो स्पोर्ट्स इक्विपमेंट है, जो जिम इक्विपमेंट है सर, जो वेरेबल्स हैं, उनमें आपको पेट्रोकेमिकल के डेरिवेटिव्स, जो पॉलीयूरिथीन है या पीवीसी है, उनका ज्यादा उपयोग होता है, प्लास्टिक्स का। यहाँ पे रबर गुड्स की भी इंडस्ट्री है सर, सौराष्ट्र अहमदाबाद के बाजू में। देर इज वुड, देर इज प्लाईवुड, देर इज एमडीएफ, एचडीएफ। अभी ही माननीय केंद्रीय मंत्री कह रहे थे कि उन्होंने सौराष्ट्र में वुड बेस्ड इंडस्ट्री की पहल की है। फिर हमारे यहाँ जो स्पोर्ट्स में चाहिए होता है, भले आप शूज की बात करिए या वेरेबल्स की बात करिए, तो उसमें जो फाइबर, मैनमेड फाइबर, टेक्निकल टेक्सटाइल्स की जो जरूरत है वो पूरा आपको यहाँ साउथ गुजरात से मिल सकता है। फिर इंजीनियरिंग, गुजरात, सौराष्ट्र, अहमदाबाद, including Baroda, it has got a strong engineering industry and electrical goods industries जिसकी भी जरूरत होती है। और फाइनली जो शायद सबसे नया है हमारे यहाँ सेमीकंडक्टर इंडस्ट्री आ गया, क्योंकि स्पोर्ट्स इक्विपमेंट में आप जानते हैं अभी चिप होता है या फिर सेंसर्स होते हैं या मॉनिटरिंग के लिए सिस्टम्स होती हैं। आप लोग टीवी पे एड्स तो सब हम भी देखते हैं, वी आर नॉन प्रोफेशनल्स। देयर इज अ ग्रेट यूज नाउ ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स इन स्पोर्ट्स इक्विपमेंट, जिम इक्विपमेंट, इंक्लूडिंग वेरेबल्स। यू आर ट्रैकिंग द काइनेटिक्स ऑफ द एथलीट व्हाइल ही इज और शी इज प्रैक्टिसिंग। इसका भी गुजरात में बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग अब इकोसिस्टम बन चुका है। तो दिस इज द सेकेंड कि जो अपस्ट्रीम इंडस्ट्रीज दैट आर ऑलरेडी प्रेजेंट हियर। थर्ड जो एलिमेंट है, चार एलिमेंट मैं बोलना चाहूंगी, थर्ड एलिमेंट जो है वो है लॉजिस्टिक्स। गुजरात हैज वन ऑफ द लोएस्ट लॉजिस्टिक्स कॉस्ट इन द कंट्री अमंग द स्टेट्स, ऑल ऑफ यू मे बी अवेयर। एंड हम मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करना चाहते हैं नॉट ओनली फॉर इंडिया बट फॉर एक्सपोर्ट्स ऑल्सो। तो अगर आप छोटा उदयपुर को देखिए, इट इज राइट नेक्स्ट टू द दिल्ली मुंबई कॉरिडोर, जिसमें आपके फ्रेट कॉरिडोर भी है, डीएमआईसी भी है, दिल्ली मुंबई इंडस्ट्रियल कॉरिडोर भी है, नेशनल एक्सप्रेस वे भी है, अभी हाई स्पीड रेलवे भी बन रहा है। सो ऑल द लॉजिस्टिक कनेक्टिविटी इज देयर। इट इज ऑल्सो हैविंग एक्सट्रीमली गुड कनेक्टिविटी टू पोर्ट्स। तो सर अगेन एज माननीय मुख्यमंत्री श्री ने बताया है, पिछले साल से हमारी R&D जो है पोर्ट कनेक्टिविटी पे फोकस कर रही है। तीन प्रकार की कनेक्टिविटी हम फोकस कर रहे हैं, एक पोर्ट कनेक्टिविटी, इंडस्ट्रियल एरिया कनेक्टिविटी एंड टूरिज्म कनेक्टिविटी। तो इसमें भी आपको यहाँ पे छोटा उदयपुर पे लाभ मिलेगा। एंड ऑफ कोर्स वी हैव द वर्ल्ड क्लास एयरपोर्ट्स एक्सेट्रा इन दिस विस्तार। तो ये तीन चीजें हैं जो हमारे पास एलिमेंट्स हैं। आज का सेमिनार क्या करना चाहता है? ये करना चाहता है कि हम सिर्फ एक प्लॉट बना के आप लोगों को इंडस्ट्रियल प्लॉट नहीं देना चाहते इन्वेस्टर्स को। वी वांट टू बिल्ड अ स्पोर्ट्स गुड्स मैन्युफैक्चरिंग इकोसिस्टम इन छोटा उदयपुर। उसमें वो जो 6 बॉक्सेस यू कैन सी, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर किस प्रकार का होना चाहिए, किस प्रकार के स्किल्ड मैन पावर की जरूरत पड़ेगी, यहाँ पे कैसे हम मार्केट डेवलपमेंट बोथ फॉर डोमेस्टिक एंड फॉर एक्सपोर्ट्स कर सकते हैं, किस प्रकार के ट्रेडिशनल हैंडीक्राफ्ट्स और स्किल्स का उपयोग इसमें किया जा सकता है। चौथा, टेक्नोलॉजी पार्टनरशिप, जिसकी ऑलरेडी मैंने उल्लेख की है कि अगर हमको कोई टेक्नोलॉजी बाहर से लाना है, जो मेरे ख्याल से संजीत भी बोलेंगे, या फिर यहाँ पे जो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक टेक्नोलॉजी है सनंद में, सर वी आर प्लानिंग R&D फॉर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स इन सानंद। तो ये सबको कैसे लाएं। और लास्ट है कि प्रमोट बैम्बू प्रोडक्ट्स। अभी मैं 1 ही मिनट लेना चाहूंगी। मेरा ये मानना है, और शायद यहाँ निष्णांत भी इस पे बात कर पाएंगे, कि स्पोर्ट्स मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में 2 फैक्टर्स बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होंगे, एक सस्टेनेबिलिटी और एक टेक्नोलॉजी। तो टेक्नोलॉजी की अपने बात की कि मटेरियल्स हो, एडवांस्ड मटेरियल, साहब अपने मुकेश भाई पण बात करी कि दे आर ऑल्सो वर्किंग ऑन एडवांस्ड मटेरियल्स, या फिर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स, चिप, सेंसर, ये टेक्नोलॉजी हो गया। कार्बन फाइबर की आप बात करोगे। सेकेंड, सस्टेनेबिलिटी। ग्रीन मैन्युफैक्चरिंग एंड सस्टेनेबल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग इज द फ्यूचर। तो यहाँ पे छोटा उदयपुर में वी वुड लाइक टू इनवाइट दोज इंडस्ट्रीज हु विल ब्रिंग इन ग्रीन मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, who will use, for example, recycled plastics, who will use bamboo based fibers, who will earn carbon credit by making bamboo plantation in the tribal areas. So we would like to position this hub for its sustainability and for its use of technology. तो इस डेवलपमेंट में हमने 3 फेज सोचे हैं। पहले लैंड आइडेंटिफिकेशन, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलपमेंट, क्रिएशन ऑफ द इकोसिस्टम, एंड ऑफ कोर्स द अलॉटमेंट एंड इन्विटेशन ऑफ द investments, sir, manufacturing investments. In addition to manufacturing investments, sir, we also would like product design, prototyping, testing, and R&D investments in Chhotaudepur. इसके अलावा इस विस्तार में इस हब को सपोर्ट करने के लिए हमने खूब सारे इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर भी प्लान किया है, जो मोस्टली लॉजिस्टिक्स के अराउंड है, विच विल लिंक दिस छोटा उदयपुर टू द एंटायर गुजरात एंड देयर बाय टू द नेशनल मार्केट। एंड फाइनली सर, जस्ट आई एम एंडिंग, कि हमारे पास स्ट्रेटेजिक प्लान है, अलाइनमेंट है राज्य सरकार और केंद्र सरकार का। हमारे पास स्ट्रॉन्ग इंडस्ट्रियल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग इकोसिस्टम यहाँ उपलब्ध है इस विस्तार में। मैन पावर की अवेलेबिलिटी, आप कहिए किस प्रकार का स्किलिंग करना है तो हमारे डायरेक्टर एम्प्लॉयमेंट ट्रेनिंग वो स्किलिंग करा के देंगे। और रॉबस्ट लॉजिस्टिक्स कनेक्टिविटी है। इस हब से हम चाहते हैं कि इस विस्तार का पूरा परिवर्तन हो, ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन हो, जैसा कि विकसित गुजरात में सोचा जाता है। हायर प्रोडक्टिविटी हो, हायर एक्सपोर्ट्स हो और हायर इनकम हो, ये हमारी आकांक्षा है। दैट इज अवर एस्पिरेशन एंड आई वेलकम all of you to join in this journey. In the panel discussion, I request panelists to give us inputs on what elements we should focus on to ensure that government is able to make a very, very robust and sustainable manufacturing hub. And best of all, मुझे ऐसे लगता है कि केंद्र सरकार में जो स्पोर्ट संभालते हैं, हमारे पूरे राज्य सरकार का जो नेतृत्व करते हैं और छोटा उदयपुर के जो प्रभारी हैं, तीनों केंद्र, राज्य और जिला सर, तीनों जो वडील हैं यहाँ पे उपस्थित हैं, तो आई थिंक दैट इज द मोस्ट ऑस्पिशियस सिग्नल व्हेन वी स्टार्ट ऑन दिस जर्नी टू डेवलप अ स्पोर्ट्स मैन्युफैक्चरिंग हब. So once again, sir, I thank you very much for your presence and I thank all participants.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the warm welcome and for providing the strategic context and highlighting the transformative potential of this initiative. Moving on, the development of the proposed sports goods manufacturing hub in Chhotaudepur has the potential to create significant economic opportunities for the region while building upon local skills and entrepreneurial capabilities. It is now my privilege to invite Honorable Minister of State and Prabhari Mantri of Chhotaudepur, Dr. Manisha Vakil, ma'am, to deliver the address. May I request you, ma'am, please?
Good afternoon, everybody. Honorable CM Sir Shri Bhupendra Bhai Patel, Union Minister for Sports Shri Mansukh Bhai Mandavia ji, and distinguished dignitaries, those who are present in this seminar. Though it's not my subject or department, but ma'am has invited me as the in charge of Chhotaudepur, and it is really utmost necessity also for this district to develop as a sports hub also. So it's my privilege to address you all. We have heard the vision of government of Gujarat regarding promoting sports manufacturing sector in the state and establishing a dedicated hub in Chhotaudepur. Turning this vision into reality will require continued collaboration. I urge leaders from the sports and sports goods manufacturing ecosystem to actively contribute their insights and expertise, which will be instrumental in shaping the upcoming industrial park. Under the visionary leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Bhai Modi ji, Indian youth has been demonstrating excellence in every sport at the international stage. Health and fitness have been the symbol of New India. Gujarat is gearing up to host the Commonwealth Games in 2030 and India is bidding seriously for Olympic Games. These trends indicate the high emerging demand for sports goods including equipments and apparel. There is need to develop new clusters in the country to cater to emerging product segments with high market potential. Gujarat is already part of the supply chain in the sports good manufacturing. Hence, the state has decided to set up a dedicated hub for sports manufacturing in Chhotaudepur. From an investor's perspective, the location offers strong strategic advantages. As Madam said, it is well connected to the state highways, to major points such as the Dahej and Hazira, as well as Delhi-Mumbai dedicated freight corridor also, expressways also, and also a key industrial cluster like Vadodara, Bharuch, Surat, Anand and Ahmedabad. Even it is very close to Madhya Pradesh, and these all things are around 100 to 200 kilometer radius. The proposed goods manufacturing hub will generate significant employment opportunities. Gujarat aims to nurture work-ready talent base aligned and global industrial trends through appropriate skilling initiatives. through a coordinated ecosystem of anchor institutes, modular training programs, and industry-led certification pathway. Gujarat continues to be one of the India's leading industrial states, and as we advance towards the vision of Viksit Gujarat 2047, it continues to secure top rankings across various national indices, including Ease of Doing Business, Export Preparedness Index, Leads in LED Leads Index, and State Startup Ranking. I warmly invite investors, particularly those visiting from outside the state, to explore Gujarat's industrial parks and experience firsthand the quality of infrastructure and the strength of industrial ecosystem. I am confident that today's seminar will serve as a significant milestone in advancing the objective of setting up sports good manufacturing hub and clarify the purpose. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am, for your inspiring address and your continued commitment towards the development of Chhotaudepur and the empowerment of local communities. May I request the gathering to give ma'am a huge round of applause, please. It is our privilege to hear from a leader whose vision and commitment has been instrumental in advancing sports as a catalyst for youth and empowerment, national building, and economic development. It is my distinct honor to invite the Honorable Union Minister of Youth Affairs, Sports and Labour and Employment, Government of India, Dr. Mansukh Mandavia, sir, to deliver the address.
बड़ौदा रीजनल समिट में हमारे बीच में उपस्थित राज्य के यशस्वी मुख्यमंत्री आदरणीय भूपेंद्र भाई, आदरणीय अपर्णा जी, आदरणीय मनीषाबेन, आद्रा जी, सभी उपस्थित स्पोर्ट्स इंडस्ट्रीज के साथ जुड़े हुए इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट, ऑफिसर्स, एंथुजियास्टिक्स, सभी भाइयों बहनों, आज का सेमिनार मेरी दृष्टि से बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है और इसलिए बारिश आनी है तो मॉनसून की एक इकोसिस्टम क्रिएट होती है, बाद में बारिश आती है। मैं देख रहा हूं देश में एक इंडस्ट्रीज के लिए इकोसिस्टम क्रिएट हुई है, उसमें स्पोर्ट्स गुड इक्विपमेंट मैन्युफैक्चरिंग एक महत्वपूर्ण सब्जेक्ट है। और मुझे अच्छा लगा जब अपर्णा जी डिटेल प्रेजेंटेशन दे रही थी। ये प्रेजेंटेशन में मध्य गुजरात डेवलपमेंट प्लान बनाया गया 2047 के लिए, उसमें स्पोर्ट्स गुड इक्विपमेंट मैन्युफैक्चरिंग के लिए छोटाउदेपुर को पसंद करा गया। 4 जोन में 4 रीजनल इस टाइप की इंडस्ट्रियल समिट, और इस समिट में सारा प्लान को सामने रखना आवश्यक होता है। कोई भी इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट को लॉन्ग टर्म और शॉर्ट टर्म गवर्नमेंट की स्ट्रेटेजी क्या है, एक स्ट्रेटेजी आपके सामने यहां रखी गई। दोस्तों, मैं मानता हूं कि अभी प्रॉपर टाइम है, नॉट ओनली फॉर हियर बट एंटायर कंट्री, एक अच्छी इकोसिस्टम इंडस्ट्रीज के लिए डेवलप हुई है। और ये पहली बार देश की आजादी के बाद मैं देख रहा हूं कि कोई देश के प्रधानमंत्री रेड फोर्ट से कहे कि वेल्थ क्रिएटर का सम्मान करो, ये बड़ी बात होती है। वेल्थ क्रिएटर ये देश के लिए बहुत आवश्यक होता है, क्योंकि माई सेल्फ इज बेस्ट पॉलिटिशियन कैन भी हो सकता है, लेकिन जरूरी नहीं है कि मैं एक अच्छा इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट भी हूं। जो इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट है उसको आप प्रोत्साहित करें तो आज से 1000 साल पहले, 2000 साल पहले इस देश में चाणक्य हुआ। उन्होंने कहा कि कोई राज्य को समृद्ध होना है तो राज्य में रहने वाले महाजनों को राज्याश्रय देना। महाजनों को राज्याश्रय देना मीन्स बिजनेस इंडस्ट्रीज को प्रोत्साहित करना। उन्होंने कहा कि महाजनों को राज्याश्रय देने से 3 फायदा होगा। एक, संपत्ति का सर्जन करेगा, वेल्थ को क्रिएट करेगा। दूसरा, रोजगार का निर्माण करेगा। तीसरा, सरकार की तिजोरी में कोष देगा। टैक्स कौन देंगे? 2000 साल पहले भी जो स्थिति थी, समय बदला है, स्थिति यही है। उस वक्त चाणक्य ने कहा था कि तब जाके राज्य गरीब और किसान का कल्याण कर पाएगा। ये समय में भी किसान से टैक्स नहीं लेने की बात थी, उसका ध्यान रखने की बात थी। आज भी गरीब और किसान का ख्याल रखने की कोई भी कल्याणकारी सरकार है, वो इस विषय को लेके चलती है। वैसे देश में आज इंडस्ट्रियल डेवलपमेंट क्यों हुआ? मोदी जी ने इकोसिस्टम क्रिएट करी, वेल्थ क्रिएटर को सम्मानित करा, यानी कि उसके अनुकूल पॉलिसी लाए, उसके अनुकूल व्यवस्था करी, नॉट ओनली फॉर शॉर्ट टर्म प्लान बट शॉर्ट टर्म और लॉन्ग टर्म दोनों प्लान इंडस्ट्रीज के सामने रखे। उसका नतीजा आज मैं देख रहा हूं, इंडस्ट्रियल ग्रोथ आगे बढ़ता जा रहा है और पहली बार ये देश में डेवलपमेंट की राजनीति की शुरुआत हुई। आज कोई भी स्टेट हो वो डेवलपमेंट की बात करेगा, अपने यहां इन्वेस्टमेंट आएंगे वो सोचेगा। उसको ध्यान में रखते हुए हर स्टेट गवर्नमेंट अपनी अपनी पॉलिसी को रिफॉर्म करती है, कंप्लायंस बर्डन को कम करती है, खत्म करती है। ऐसा कई टाइप का एफर्ट करते हैं। उसमें से जो गुजरात गवर्नमेंट ने रीजनल प्लान बना के प्लानिंग करा है, मैं आज आपके बीच में, मेरी इच्छा है कि ये सेमिनार में मैं आपके सेशन में आपका इनपुट्स भी मुझे समझना इसलिए है कि भारत सरकार ने भी, पहले तो जब मैं मंत्री आया तो मेरे पास स्पोर्ट्स गुड मैन्युफैक्चरर्स आते थे, तो गुड्स वाले आते थे, तो मैंने कहा कि भाई ये सब्जेक्ट किसका है, तो मुझे पता चला कि डीपीआईटी में था और किसी को एलोकेटेड सब्जेक्ट नहीं था। तो मैंने एफर्ट करा, कैबसेक को मैंने बताया कि भाई तो किसी को एलोकेटेड नहीं है, आप स्पोर्ट्स मिनिस्ट्री में सब्जेक्ट को डाल दो। उन्होंने स्पोर्ट्स मिनिस्ट्री में स्पोर्ट्स गुड मैन्युफैक्चरिंग को डाला। उनके बाद इस बजट में पहली बार स्पोर्ट्स गुड मैन्युफैक्चरिंग के लिए 500 करोड़ रुपीस एलोकेट करा गया। ये तो टोकन है क्योंकि वो गियरअप हो, बट उनके साथ हमने तुरंत ही उसके लिए पॉलिसी बनानी है, स्कीम बनानी है। मेरे लिए सेमिनार इसलिए इंपॉर्टेंट है कि गुजरात ने एफर्ट करा है। फॉर एग्जांपल भव्या स्कीम लास्ट बजट में भारत सरकार ने अनाउंसमेंट करी। इस स्कीम में 100 इंडस्ट्रियल पार्क सारे देश में बनाना है। तो जब गुजरात में छोटाउदेपुर में स्पोर्ट्स गुड मैन्युफैक्चरिंग के लिए एक स्पेशल पार्क बन रहा है, फैसिलिटी क्रिएट हो रही है, एक इकोसिस्टम बन रही है, तो मुझे अलाइन होना है। जब मैं स्कीम बना रहा था तो मैं कैपेसिटी का आकलन कर रहा था कि भाई चलो सरकार तो रेडी है, 5,000 करोड़ 10,000 करोड़ जो भी जितनी भी स्कीम बनानी हो सरकार के पास, उसके लिए कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। बट क्या मैं एक बड़ी स्कीम लाऊं तो ये स्कीम के अनुरूप हमारी इंडस्ट्रीज उसका लाभ ले पाएगी क्या, उसकी इकोसिस्टम है क्या? तो मैंने सोचा कि पहले 2-3 हजार करोड़ की एक स्कीम लेके आऊंगा, 2 ही महीने में लेके आऊंगा। ये स्कीम मुझे बनानी है तो ये उनके पहले पॉलिसी बनानी है, ये पॉलिसी के अनुरूप स्कीम बनानी है। जो छोटा उदयपुर में जिस टाइप का पोटेंशियल में देख रहा हूं, जिस टाइप का मैंने अपर्णा जी का प्रेजेंटेशन देखा, ये फैसिलिटी यहां बन रही है, तो मैं मानता हूं कि मुझे मेरी स्कीम का इंप्लीमेंटेशन करने के लिए छोटा उदयपुर बेस्ट डेस्टिनेशन होगा। उसका फाइनेंशियल सपोर्ट उससे मिलेगा। दूसरा, जब सेमिनार में आते हैं तो सामान्यतः हमारे मन में आता है कि बॉल और बैट, दैट इज नॉट स्पोर्ट्स गुड इक्विपमेंट। अभी हमें स्पोर्ट्स साइंस की ओर देखना है। मैं बाकी स्पोर्ट्स की बात ना करूं तो अब विजुलाइज करो, जब हम क्रिकेट देखने के लिए बैठते हैं, अभी फुटबॉल फीफा चल रहा है उसको देखने के लिए बैठते हैं, मैं बेसिकली स्पोर्ट्स का आदमी नहीं हूं, लेकिन मिनिस्ट्री मेरे जिम्मे में आई तो मैंने डिटेल अध्ययन करना चालू करा। एक एक चीज में, जब क्रिकेट में जब बॉल फेंकते हैं तो टम्प कैमरा, स्पेशल कैमरा के लिए स्पेशल टाइप के इक्विपमेंट, स्पेशल टाइप के फाइबर, स्पेशल टाइप के, इट्स ऑल्सो वन पार्ट्स ऑफ स्पोर्ट्स गुड्स। स्पोर्ट्स साइंस के लिए जरूरी इक्विपमेंट, उसके लिए जरूरी एसेसरी, ये सब स्पोर्ट्स गुड मैन्युफैक्चरिंग का पार्ट है। जो यहां बता रहे थे कि पेट्रोकेमिकल्स इंडस्ट्रीज ऑल्सो हियर, ये भी यहां है। ये कॉरिडोर का, एक दिल्ली मुंबई कॉरिडोर का पार्ट है। ये लोकेशन, आज मैं तो एक्सपोर्ट की बात तो बाद में कर रहा हूं, बट हमारे यहां देश में कितना पोटेंशियल है। हम कितना बड़ा मार्केट है, हम हमेशा ये बात को ध्यान में रखेंगे ना, हम देश में कितना बड़ा मार्केट, दुनिया के लिए कितना बड़ा मार्केट है। आज दुनिया के साथ हमारा फ्री ट्रेड हो रहा है। कॉम्पिटिटिव मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कॉस्ट और टैलेंट और स्किल दुनिया को हायर करनी पड़ती है, ये हमारे पास अवेलेबल है, ये देश में अवेलेबल है। ये देश में ये भी क्षमता है कि समय आए तब उसकी रिक्वायरमेंट को स्वयं फुलफिल कर लेता है। हमें किस टाइप की स्किल चाहिए तो हमें दुनिया के पास के सामने देख के खड़ा रहने की आवश्यकता नहीं है। हम ऐसे स्किल मैन पावर ये देश में तैयार कर लेते हैं, क्योंकि हमारे पास 65% पॉपुलेशन बिलो 35 है। डेमोग्राफिक डिविडेंड भी हमारे फेवर में है। इमर्जिंग इकोनॉमी है। आप विचार करो, यूरोप की इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ 1-2%, अमेरिका का इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ बिलो 4%, चाइना का इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ 4.5%, हमारी इकोनॉमी 7.5% से ग्रो कर रही है। दोस्तों, जब इकोनॉमी ग्रो करती है, यानी कि जब देश में संपत्ति का सर्जन होता है, तो देश में मैन्युफैक्चरिंग बढ़ता है, देश में सर्विस सेक्टर बढ़ता है। ये सब बढ़ता है तो इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ होता है, और जब लोगों के जेब में पैसा आता है तब डिमांड बढ़ती है। एक ऐसा देश है जिसमें मिडिल क्लास बढ़ रहा है। जब जब मिडिल क्लास बढ़ता है तो उसकी लाइफ की जरूरत बढ़ती है। मिडिल क्लास एक लेवल की प्रोक्योरमेंट करती है, जो ये प्रोक्योरमेंट, और जब कंफर्ट लाइफ की ओर कोई जाते हैं तब कोई गरीब व्यक्ति खाने के लिए सोचेंगे, पर जब खाने पीने से बाहर निकल गया वो बेस्ट लाइफ सोचेंगे। बेस्ट लाइफ की ओर जब जनता जा रही है तब स्पोर्ट्स एक ऐसा सेक्टर है। स्पोर्ट्स केवल कंपटीशन नहीं है जी, स्पोर्ट्स केवल मेडल नहीं है, स्पोर्ट्स एक लाइफ लाइन है, स्पोर्ट्स एक बेहतर लाइफ का पार्ट है। ये देश में ये सिस्टम क्रिएट हो गई है कि हम अच्छा जिए, हमें अच्छी लाइफ जीनी है, तो उसका पार्ट एक स्पोर्ट्स बन गया है। उस हिसाब से स्पोर्ट्स मैन्युफैक्चरिंग के साथ जुड़ी हुई टीम जब सोचेगी तब उसके मन में कल्पना आएगी। यहां जो दिख रहा है प्रेजेंटेशन में कि हमारी स्पोर्ट्स की इकोनॉमी इतनी होगी, इतनी होगी, ये तो होगी ही होगी। मैं उसका बहुत लार्ज स्केल देख रहा हूं, और मुझे दिखाई दे रहा है कि आने वाले दिनों में देश और दुनिया के लिए हमारा डोर स्पोर्ट्स गुड मैन्युफैक्चरिंग के द्वारा ओपन होना है। ये अपॉर्चुनिटी को हम एनकेज करें। सेंट्रल और स्टेट बोथ विन विन सिचुएशन से इंडस्ट्रीज के साथ जुड़े हैं, उसका लाभ लेके हम अपनी इंडस्ट्रीज को आगे बढ़ाएं। धन्यवाद।
Thank you so much, sir, for your inspiring address. Your guidance and encouragement will undoubtedly inspire all stakeholders to work collectively towards realizing this transformative vision of Chhotaudepur in Gujarat. We now arrive at the most anticipated segment of today's inaugural session. It is my privilege and honor to invite our Honorable CM of Gujarat, Shri Bhupendrabhai Patel, sir. માનનીય મુખ્યમંત્રી શ્રીને તેમના માર્ગદર્શક ઉદ્બોધન માટે હું વિનમ્ર આમંત્રણ આપું છું. વેલકમ, સર.
આમ તો બધું કમ્પ્લીટ થઈ ગયું છે, એટલે મારા ભાગે કઈ સ્પોર્ટ્સ માટે કે એના માટે કઈ હું કહેવા નથી માંગતો અત્યારે. અહીંયા આજે તમારામાંથી કોઈની તૈયારી થઈ ગઈ હોય, બધા રેડી છે તમારી સહી કરી દેવા માટે. બધા ડિપાર્ટમેન્ટ અહીંયા હાજર છે. તમને મગજમાં બેસી ગયું હોય કે ના આમાં આપણે આગળ જંપલાવા જેવું છે, કે બધા શાંત થઈ ગયા એકદમ રેડી. અને જે આજે તમને સ્પોર્ટ્સ માટે અહીંયા આગળ બધા જ આંકડા આપ્યા કે સ્પોર્ટ્સ સેક્ટર ને સ્પોર્ટ્સ સેક્ટર કેવી રીતે આગળ વધી શકે એવું છે, કયા કયા દેશમાં ક્યાં સ્ટેજ સુધી છે, આપણા દેશમાં ક્યાં ક્યાં છે, બધું બતાડી દીધું તમને. એવી રીતે આખા ગુજરાતનું અમે તૈયાર કરી દીધું છે. વિકસિત ભારત માટે વિકસિત ગુજરાત, અને વિકસિત ગુજરાત માટે અમે 6 રિજિયન બનાવ્યા છે. એક કચ્છ ઇકોનોમી રિજિયન, સૌરાષ્ટ્ર ઇકોનોમી રિજિયન, કોસ્ટલ સૌરાષ્ટ્ર ઇકોનોમી રિજિયન, ઉત્તર ગુજરાત ઇકોનોમી રિજિયન, મધ્ય ગુજરાત ઇકોનોમી રિજિયન અને સુરત ઇકોનોમી રિજિયન. આ 6 રિજિયન છે અને 6 રિજિયનમાં ફોકસ સેક્ટર પણ તૈયાર છે, થર્ડ સેક્ટર પણ તૈયાર છે. એટલે તમારે આપણે કોઈને જોવું હોય તો જોઈ શકાય એવું છે? ના, એટલે અત્યારે નહીં, પણ વેબસાઇટ રેડી છે ને? હા, એટલે તમે ઘરે બેઠા પણ જોઈ શકશો કે ભાઈ તમને જે સેક્ટરમાં રસ હોય તો ગુજરાતે એકદમ પહેલ કરી. અને ઘણી વખત આપણને શું હોય કે ભાઈ તૈયાર તો કરી દે, પછી બુકો તૈયાર થઈ જાય, બોલવામાં ચાલુ રહે, પછી એનું આગળ વધવાનું કંઈ નામ ના થાય. એટલે કે જે પડ્યું રહ્યું હોય, ચોપડીમાં પડ્યું રહ્યું હોય, કાં જાહેરાતમાં પડ્યું રહ્યું હોય. પણ આપણા વડાપ્રધાન શ્રી છે એ આ બાબતમાં એકદમ એગ્રેસિવ હોય કે તમે જે બોલ્યા, સાહેબે જે 12 વર્ષ વડાપ્રધાન તરીકે જે સળંગ એમની કારકિર્દી અહીંયા ગુજરાતથી શરૂ થઈ અને વડાપ્રધાન તરીકે તમે જુઓ, એમણે જે બોલ્યા એ જમીન ઉપર ઉતારીને બતાડ્યું. એનો વિશ્વાસ વધ્યો છે કે ભાઈ તે કહેશે એ કરીને બતાડે છે. અને તમે સેમિકન્ડક્ટર, આપણા બધાના મગજમાં હતું કે ભાઈ સેમિકન્ડક્ટર ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીઝ આપણા ભારતમાં આવતી નહોતી, અને બધા વડાપ્રધાનો એની માટે પ્રયત્ન બી કરેલો, પણ વિશ્વાસ નહોતો પડતો કે આ ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીઝ ખરેખર અહીંયા આગળ થઈ શકે કે ના થઈ શકે. પણ માનીય વડાપ્રધાન નરેન્દ્રભાઈના આવ્યા પછી વિશ્વાસ પડ્યો અને એ આપણા ગુજરાતમાં 4 ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીઝ સેમિકન્ડક્ટરની શરૂ થઈ છે. એટલે એ જે વિશ્વાસ આપણે ક્રિએટ કરી શક્યા છે એનું કારણ જ એ છે કે ભાઈ આપણે જે બોલીએ છીએ એ કરીને બતાવ્યું. આજે અહીંયા 2026ની ઔદ્યોગિક પોલિસી પણ અમે જાહેર કરી છે. એની અંદર પણ તમને ખૂબ મોટી છૂટછાટ આપી છે કે ભાઈ તમે તમારી રીતે સિલેક્ટ કરો કે તમારે શું જોઈએ છે, કેવી રીતનું જોઈએ. કે ભાઈ કેપિટલમાં તમારે જોઈએ છે, સબસિડી છૂટછાટ જોઈએ છે, ઇલેક્ટ્રિસિટીમાં જોઈએ છે, તમારે જેમાં જોઈતું હોય એમાં. એટલે તમે તમારી રીતે ચૂઝ કરી શકો એ રીતની આખી 2026ની પોલિસી તૈયાર થઈ છે. પહેલી વખત તમને છૂટછાટ ક્યાંય અપાઈ હોય તો એ આપણા ગુજરાતમાં અપાઈ છે ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીઝમાં. એટલે ખૂબ સારી રીતે ગુજરાત આગળ વધી રહ્યું છે. માનનીય વડાપ્રધાનશ્રીના નેતૃત્વ અને માર્ગદર્શનમાં જે એમણે આખી ઇકોસિસ્ટમ ગુજરાતમાં બનાવી છે, એ જ ઇકોસિસ્ટમને આપણે આગળ વધારવા માટે અને દરેક ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીઝનું 2003માં જ્યારે વાઇબ્રન્ટ શરૂ કર્યું ત્યારે કોઈને મગજમાં નહોતું કે ભાઈ આજે ગ્લોબલ લેવલનું પ્લેટફોર્મ ગુજરાત આપી શકે એવું કોઈના મગજમાં નહોતું. અને એ વખતે જ્યારે શરૂ કર્યું ત્યારે બધાને એમ હતું કે આ બધા એમઓયુ થાય છે, કેટલા જમીન ઉપર ઉતરે છે. શરૂઆતમાં એવું થયું બી હશે નાનું મોટું, પણ આજે આપણે જેટલા એમઓયુ કરીએ છીએ તો એના રિઝલ્ટ જે છે કે જમીન ઉપર કેટલા ઉતર્યા, તો એનો જે રેશિયો છે લગભગ 70 થી 90% વચમાં છે. કોઈક વાર લાગે એટલે પોતાને એમઓયુ કરી દીધા પછી પરિસ્થિતિ કોઈ કારણસર પોતાની બી એવી થઈ હોય, બાકી જમીન ઉપર એ લોકો પણ ઉતારીને સ્ટાર્ટ કરી દેતા. એમઓયુ કર્યા પછી એ લોકો પણ ઝડપથી સ્ટાર્ટ કરવાના મૂડમાં હોય છે. એટલે એકદમ ક્લેરિટી સાથે, એકદમ વ્યવસ્થિત, જેને કહેવાય કે વાઇબ્રન્ટ એક બાજુ કરીએ અને સરકાર તરફથી સપોર્ટ ના મળે એવું ગુજરાતમાં થાય એવું નથી. કે વાઇબ્રન્ટ કરીએ છીએ એટલા માટે જ કરીએ છીએ કે ભાઈ ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીઝ આગળ આવે, ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીઝને સપોર્ટ થાય, અને ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીઝને સપોર્ટ સરકાર હર હંમેશ રેડી રહે કે ભાઈ કંઈ પણ પ્રોબ્લેમ આવે તો સરકાર એકદમ એક્ટિવલી એમાં પાર્ટ લે અને પ્રોબ્લેમ સોર્ટ આઉટ કરે. એ રીતે ગુજરાત સરકાર આગળ વધી રહી છે. આપણે સૌ આમાં સાથે મળીને જો આગળ વધીએ તો મને લાગે છે ત્યાં સુધી જે 2047નો સંકલ્પ છે માન્ય વડાપ્રધાનશ્રીનો વિકસિત ભારતનો, એ કદાચ તમે અમારો અહીંયા આગળનો જે 2047 સુધીનો ગુજરાતનો રોડમેપ છે એ તમે જોશો તો તમને પોતાને પણ વિશ્વાસ થશે કે ના, વિકસિત ભારત અને વિકસિત ગુજરાત થઈને જ ઊભું રહેશે. એ રીતે આપણે સૌ સાથે મળીને આગળ વધીએ એ જ અભ્યર્થના. ભારત માતા કી જય. વંદે માતરમ. જય જય ગરવી.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your inspiring words and visionary guidance. Due to some prior engagements and commitments, our Honorable Minister of State, our Honorable Union Minister, and our Honorable Chief Minister will have to lead from the session today, but we will be continuing our seminar. Okay. Our Honorable Union Minister, sir, will be staying with us. May I request the gathering to stand and give a huge round of applause, please. The stage. Ranjit sir. Arrange this. Thank you so much. May I request Shri Jalash Dani sir, President Sportscom, onto the stage, sir. May I request Shri Sanjit Singh sir onto the stage, sir, please. May I request our Joint Secretary, Department of Sports, Khelo India, onto the stage, sir. May I request Shri P. Sarup sir, Industries Commissioner and our EMP Coordinator for CGER, onto the stage. Shri Swarup sir is our EMP Coordinator for Central Gujarat Economic Region Master Plan. May I request sir to address the gathering and share his insights on the vision and the strategic roadmap for developing Chhotaudepur as sports goods manufacturing hub. Before that, may I request Ms. Stuti Charan ma'am to kindly felicitate sir with a memento. With a huge round of applause, please welcome sir onto. Thank you. Sir, please, if you could.
Honorable Union Minister of Sports, Mansukh Mandavia Sahib, our Additional Chief Secretary Madam Jayanti Ravi Ma'am, honorable dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, and all sports manufacturing enthusiasts and sports enthusiasts. So this is one of the very unique seminar that we are conducting here in this vibrant Gujarat regional. So you might have seen we Gujarat traditionally hosts seminars on textiles, seminars on chemicals, and of course in the new age era we are holding seminars on semiconductors and also advanced manufacturing. So, but at the same time, this is one area where Gujarat wants to step in a big way. There is a potential, very huge potential in terms of the availability of skilled manpower, the availability of market, especially in this region, Vadodara region, and also in Ahmedabad region, which is basically our central Gujarat region. As our Honorable Union Minister and Honorable CM was mentioning, so we are having we have come up with a new policy, which is I would like to take few minutes on that. Industrial Viksit Gujarat Industrial Policy 2026. So where apart from our traditional strengths of Gujarat, we have come up with a special thrust sectors. So that is there are 5 or 6 sectors. We are calling it as select thrust sectors. So that includes sports goods manufacturing. Of course, the others are drone manufacturing, robot manufacturing, toys manufacturing, etc. So sports good has also been given similar importance as the other advanced new age technologies, where the incentives options will be little better than the other sectors. In fact, in the sports goods equipments and manufacturing also, so we will be giving an option of 3 choices. One is a capital subsidy for goods manufacturing. Second is the interest subsidy, and third is power tariff subsidy. There is an overall cap of 35 to 40%. Of course, if the thrust sector and if it is coming in a category A taluka, that is a relatively less developed taluka, which Chhotaudepur also falls in. So the capital subsidy, the overall ceiling can be as big as 50%. So I'm also the Industries Commissioner of the state of Gujarat. So apart from the economic plan coordinator for the central Gujarat region, so the policy purview also comes under the Industries Mines Department. So this policy was launched on June 15 this year with a with the aim that this sector should get a boost. We have our Industrial Development Corporation called GIDC, where a special separate land has been identified in this Chhotaudepur region, especially reserved for the sports goods manufacture. The time is, I think, very ripe. The policies are very positive and very encouraging. And of course, as you all know, Gujarat is going to host the Commonwealth Games in 2030, in 2029, police and fire games, which is going to be one of the largest number of athletes are going to participate. And of course, as you all know, we are also positively bidding for the already bid for the Olympics 2036. So the demand for sports goods is going to rise in a big way in the entire country, and of course in Gujarat also. And as a part of this Central Gujarat Economic Master Plan, we have identified few, in fact, 2 special sectors or the champion sectors, or we call it as game-changing plans. So one of the game-changing plan is the sports goods manufacturing, and other is of course the biopharma and bio life sciences part. So the focus will be on sports goods manufacturing, and this seminar is also part of that master plan of the Central Gujarat Economic Region. We have the complete master plan available. There is a budgetary support also, and there is coordination between different departments to implement this master plan. And of course, our Honorable Chief Minister will keep on reviewing these plans. And in these plans also, the game-changing plans are the topmost priority ones. and happy to reiterate that sports goods manufacturing is a part of the game changing plan. So with these words, I would invite all of you. I hope there are sports goods manufacturers from other parts of India who has come here. I mean, though traditionally Gujarat is not known for its sports goods manufacturing, but we think that we'll be making a very good beginning in this sector. This also includes sports apparels, activewear, which also falls, some of them are falling in the technical textile category. So we are very good in technical textiles, as you know, and will be making a good headway in the sports goods manufacturing also. Any sorts of support that you need from the industries department, we are all here. Index B is our nodal organization for investment promotion. So we will be sharing the numbers on the nodal agency. And this is a top priority for the entire government of Gujarat. That is the reason why Honorable Chief Minister has kindly consented to be here. And our Union Sports Minister Mandavia Sahab is here for the entire seminar period. So that also shows the importance and the commitment which the government of Gujarat and government of India gives to this sector. Thank you. Thanks a lot for patient listening. And is there any question I can take? There's somebody who is asking a question. Can I? Sorry. Sorry. How? Yes, as I was mentioning, a land has already been identified in the Chhotaudepur district. No, this land has been identified, and it will be. We can give allotment. We can start allotment in the next 3-4 months. The allotments can start, and I would request you to go through the policy, which is a very progressive policy, and we will be having one-on-one meetings with the sports goods manufacturers in the second week of July. So we'll be calling those especially situated in the northern clusters. So we will be calling them and offering you we'll be showing you the land parcels also, and we can discuss the incentive proposals. And we are ready in next 2 to 3 months. We will be able to allot. Yes, please. We can expand. So we'll be very happy to, I mean, to invite you. नहीं सी लैंड देयर आर टू वेज लैंड तो आप पर्सनली परचेस करेंगे तो भी आपको वो इंसेंटिव्स मिलेगा अगर आपको लैंड परचेस नहीं करना है जेडीसी का लैंड लेना है वो भी आपको परचेस करना ही होगा बोथ वेज इट इज फाइन सो इंसेंटिव्स विल बी द कॉमन आपको उसमें लेंगे या प्राइवेट लेंगे ओके आई मैं लास्ट लेता हूं बिकॉज आई थिंक देयर आर अदर्स प्लीज बताइए यू कैन कंप्लीट इट एज सून एज पॉसिबल ठीक नो बट वी आर हियर टू हेल्प यू नया इंडस्ट्रीज बाहर से आएंगे तो भी हम हेल्प करेंगे ऑफ कोर्स गुजरात के इंडस्ट्रीज है वो एक्सपैंड करने के लिए जरूर हेल्प तो करेंगे बहुत अच्छा है आप इसको आप एक्सपैंड कर सकते हो टेक्नोलॉजी बढ़ा सकते हैं क्वालिटी में इंप्रूव कर सकते हैं नंबर ऑफ प्रोडक्ट्स आप डाइवर्सिफाई कर सकते हैं वी आर रेडी टू हेल्प यू ठीक थैंक यू
Thank you so much, sir. Please give sir a huge round of applause. A kind request to the audience that we won't be taking questions in between because we are anyways running a bit late. You can meet the dignitaries as and when the time permits after the seminar is we complete with the seminar. So moving on, our next speaker is a distinguished industrialist, investor, institution builder, and a passionate advocate for sports development in India. May I request Mr. Rohan Gaur, team lead CSU Grid, to kindly welcome sir with a memento. Please give sir a huge round of applause, please. May I request Sri Jalash Dani sir to kindly deliver his special address.
माननीय मनसुखभाई अपर्णाबेन बाकी अतिथिगण
હું સ્પીચ બનાવીને લાવ્યો છું. ગુજરાતીમાં છે, બધું બોલવાનો ગુજરાતીમાં જ હતો, પણ મનસુખભાઈ એ જે કીધું એના પરથી પ્રોત્સાહન લઈ અને હું જરા ચેન્જીસ લાવવા માંગુ છું. મનસુખભાઈ આપણી જોડે હજી 25 મિનિટ છે અને હું અહીંયા ઓડિયન્સમાં જોઉં છું કે સ્ટેક છે, શિવનરેશ છે, ઋષિ છે. આ લોકો મેન્યુફેક્ચરર્સ છે. એ લોકો સ્પેશિયલી અહીંયા આવ્યા છે, મેરઠથી આવ્યા છે, જલંધરથી આવ્યા છે, બોમ્બેથી આવ્યા છે. તો હું મારો પ્રતિસાદ અને મારી ભાવના વ્યક્ત કરું. અને મને આ ક્ષેત્ર જોડે બહુ લગાવ છે, કારણ કે મારા દાદાજી 1917માં કપડવંજ, જે અહીંયાથી 1.25 કલાક દૂર છે, તે ગામ છોડીને મુંબઈ આવીને એમણે એશિયન પેઇન્ટ્સ ચાલુ કર્યું હતું. અને હવે હું અહીંયા મારી કોશિશ કરું છું જે પણ સમાજ માટે કરી શકું એને માટે. અને મને બહુ ખુશી છે કે આજે જે મનસુખભાઈએ કીધું એ સાચી વાત છે. ડીપીઆઈઆઈટીમાં જ્યારે પીએલઆઈની સ્કીમ્સ એક પછી એક 2020 પછી અનાઉન્સ થતી હતી અને કોવિડ પછી, ત્યારે સ્પોર્ટિંગ ગુડ્સ અને જીમ ઇક્વિપમેન્ટના ક્ષેત્રમાં અને એના ઇશ્યુઝને રેઝ કરવા માટે તકલીફ પડતી હતી. અને અમે લોકો જુદી જુદી મિનિસ્ટ્રીઝમાં ત્યારે જતા હતા. રિવર્સ ચાર્જ મિકેનિઝમ, જે જીએસટીનો મુદ્દો હતો, એ પણ એના પછી આવ્યો. એમાં પણ તકલીફ પડતી હતી. અને આજે નેશનલ સ્પોર્ટ્સ કોલ, નેશનલ પોલિસી, એ બધું અમે છેલ્લા 3-4 વર્ષમાં જોયું છે કે મનસુખભાઈ અને માનનીય પ્રધાનમંત્રીના નેતૃત્વમાં ઘણું આગળ વધ્યું છે. અને આ જે ઇનિશિયેટિવ અહીંયા છે, હું સાચું કહું તો મારે માટે આ એક સોચ છે. મેં કોઈ દિવસ એવું ધાર્યું નહોતું કે ગુજરાતમાં સ્પોર્ટિંગ ગુડ્સ ને જીમ ઇક્વિપમેન્ટ માટે પોલિસી આવશે, એને માટે લેન્ડ અલોટ કરવામાં આવશે અને બહારથી લોકો આવશે. તો હું મારી વાણીને અહીંયા જ વિરામ આપીશ ને ખાલી એટલું જ રિક્વેસ્ટ કરીશ કે જે 3 અને બીજા જો એવા કોઈ મેન્યુફેક્ચરર જે બહારથી આવ્યા હોય અને એમને એવી વ્યક્ત કરવી હોય કે એમના પ્રમાણે શું થઈ શકે. અને સંજીતજી અને વિનિલ કૃષ્ણાજી તો એક્સપર્ટ્સ છે. નીતિ આયોગમાં અને સ્પોર્ટ્સ મિનિસ્ટ્રીમાં ઘણું બધું કામ કર્યું છે. તો આઈ થિંક એમની પાસે બી ઘણી બધી ઇન્ફોર્મેશન હશે. તો એમને સાંભળીએ આપણે. થેન્ક યુ.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Moving on, the discussions today draw significant inspiration from Niti Aayog's landmark report, Realizing the Export Potential of India's Sports Equipment Manufacturing Sector. Our next presenter, Shri Sanjeev Singh, IRS Program Director of Niti Aayog, has played a pivotal role in shaping Niti Aayog's work on sports equipment manufacturing and has been closely involved in identifying pathways for strengthening India's competitiveness in this sector. May I request Shri Vala Sir, DG SAG, to kindly welcome Sir with a memento. Please give Sir a huge round of applause. May I request Sir to make his presentation.
Dr. Mansukh Mandaviya ji, Honorable Union Minister for Youth Affairs and Sports. My dear friends here, Madam Aparna is not here right now. Vinil Krishna, my friend, Tani Bhai. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, although I think I'm now a non-resident Gujarati, because I have been invited with such love and affection so many times to Gujarat, and so I think I will have to seriously start learning Gujarati, because I'm very scared to speak it lest I make some mistakes. But thank you so much for bearing with me. So आज अगर आप इजाज़त दें सर, तो मैं हिंदी और इंग्लिश में ही बोलना चाहूँगा. तो सबसे पहले I want to begin the presentation. Is it possible? Can I operate? I wanted to share with you. I know we have done that report, and Honorable Minister, who has been leading this charge from the front, he has been absolutely clear from the very beginning that India has to emerge as a strong sporting goods equipment manufacturer. And ladies and gentlemen, let us really give him a round of applause, because he is the one who is leading it from the front. He's the one who could manage to get 500 crores in the budget announcement. And that 500 crores, thanks to brilliant officers like Vinil and our friend Hari Ranjan Rao Saab, sir has been able to make that into a scheme, and that scheme is being announced, sir, very shortly. So many, many congratulations to the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports for doing this in record speed. I wanted to, in fact, move a little bit beyond that with your permission. I want to begin with an image. I wonder if most of you can see the image. This is an image of which I would like you to hold in your mind. It's 2036, the opening ceremony of the Olympic Games. The stadium erupts, not silently like this, in much larger amount. The Indian team marches in, and for the very first time in history, they march on home soil. Over the next 2 weeks, our athletes compete on tracks, courts, and fields, and the equipment in their hand, on their feet, and the protective gear on their bodies bears the mark "Made in India." That is the vision I am here to talk about today. And this is not just a dream, not just an aspiration, but it is an industrial strategy. It is a job creation engine, and it is a historic opportunity that this generation, our generation, can seize. So I just wanted to, in fact, stop here and just give you this picture. This is from our report, which I must acknowledge. My dear friend Lakshita is here from the Forum for Economic Development. She has been the backbone of the study. So the stage is 2036. That is the target, which Honorable Minister has also stated very clearly. Why are we saying this is the Olympic moment? Is India's time and India's opportunity? We are looking at a 1.4 billion market of scale, unmatched potential, domestic market. ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर, इन्होंने अपनी स्पीच में हमें साफ तौर पे बताया कि किस तरह से हमारी एस्पायरेशनल क्लास, जो मिडिल क्लास बढ़ती जा रही है, और वो किस प्रकार से एक डोमेस्टिक डिमांड इतनी लार्ज स्केल में क्रिएट कर रही है. दिस इज गोइंग टू बी वन ऑफ दोज डिमांड फैक्टर्स. $1 trillion in the opportunity, and I will come to that. The global sports goods manufacturing by 2030 is going to touch $1 trillion globally, and therefore 2030 is the decade in which India has to make this move. माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कहा है कि भारत में 2036 ओलंपिक खेल ये 140 करोड़ भारतीयों का सपना है. खेल सिर्फ मेडल जीतने का ही नहीं, बल्कि दिल जीतने का माध्यम है, और हम लोगों को ये अब ये निर्णय करना है कि हमें अपने प्रधानमंत्री जी का ये सपना को पूरा करना है. Ladies and gentlemen, we have heard so much. Why now? Why India? Why is this the right moment? We are an aspiring nation. Olympic Games are on an elite games prior to that. Fire and police games, Commonwealth games, all of them are going to give us this massive opportunity to converge the youth dividend which we have. Our average age right now is close to 29.2 years. And this is going to remain with us for the next 2 decades. Presently, 65% of our population is in the 15 to 64 year working age, and 370 million youth are in the 15 to 29 age. But this window is not going to always remain open. Similarly, when we talked about cost advantage, we have a cost advantage in labor of 50 to 70% over our nearest rival China, but not in other areas. Similarly, in infrastructure and logistics, we have the government has spent 32 lakh crores in developing infrastructure portfolio. This has led to the logistic costs coming down to approximately 10% of the GDP. This has to be now used to build trust in supply chains and therefore also design and create a brand India which does not exist today. If we are to look at this, I was talking about this window which is going to be fast closing. So Niti Aayog, as I mentioned, has spent the last year leading a comprehensive study which has basically studied the export potential of India's sports equipment. And we found that this is a huge opportunity. In fact, we call it a sleeping giant. 700 billion. That is the, you can see, I don't think it's not feasible. The global sports goods market today is about 700 billion. But 2036, the year we are aspiring to host the Olympic Games, it will cross $1 trillion. Within that, the sports equipment alone is about $150 billion market, projected to reach about 300 billion. And now the question is, where is India today? We today export 275 million of sports equipment. Our global market share is 0.5% only. So this is not a statistics I'm presenting to so that we can feel shame about, but we have to really understand this huge potential, huge opportunity which lies. Our report has already identified that $8.1 billion export opportunity over the next decade is waiting for us. And we can generate 54 lakh additional jobs by 2036, not in IT, not in finance, but on the shop floor in training centers like here in Chhotaudepur. I wanted to give you one clear example. Many people think that ये कैसे हो सकता है, ये शायद नहीं हो पाएगा, हम लोग कभी कैच अप नहीं कर पाएंगे. But if you look at the story of Vietnam, 2013 और में इंडिया और वियतनाम का स्पोर्ट्स गुड्स का एक्सपोर्ट बिल्कुल बराबर था. अगर आज हम एक डिकेड के बाद या 13 साल के बाद देखते हैं, दे आर more than 3 times our exports. And a country which is, you can imagine, much smaller than India. How did they do it? So among other things, they secured long-term partnerships with global brands. They aggressively used free trade agreements. They built cost-efficient raw material ecosystems. And above all, and this is where we come in, the government and industry moved in perfect coordination, just like a relay team which is passing on a baton. India today is facing about 10 to 20% of cost disadvantage related to China and including Pakistan. That gap is real, driven by high raw material cost, under mechanized production, high land costs, and logistical inefficiencies. But the important thing here is not saying that what is wrong, but important thing is to point out that this gap is not structural, it's not permanent, it can be addressed, and it is being addressed. The union budget, as I just mentioned, Honorable Minister, has exerted so much to ensure that 500 crores specifically for sports goods manufacturing has been allocated. They're coming up with a very detailed scheme. So policy and funds are both moving to address this gap. The world is actively looking for a China plus one strategy. हम लोग बात करते हैं China plus one strategy की. Global brands भी reliable quality alternatives ढूंढ रही हैं. इंडिया इस रेस को क्यों नहीं जीत सकता, क्यों नहीं आगे रह सकता? As I said, we are not too late. But ladies and gentlemen, please be sure this window is not going to remain open for a very long time. So we have to act now, and that is why it's important that the Olympic clock is ticking, and therefore Olympic Games are not just games. I have titled this slide Olympic Procurement Pipeline. If you look at the calendar, अगले 10 साल लॉस एंजल्स ओलंपिक्स 2028, कॉमनवेल्थ गेम्स 2030 जो कि अहमदाबाद में होने वाली हैं, ब्रिस्बेन ओलंपिक्स 2032, एशियन गेम्स 2034 अभी अनाउंस नहीं हुई हैं, 2036 as I said, India will get the Olympic Games, and 2038 again aggressively we are pushing for the Asian Games to come to India. So this is not just a calendar, it is a procurement pipeline. a decade-long, high-value, globally visible procurement pipeline. So those who make investments in this pipeline today will continue to reap benefits for at least a decade and much more. If you have watched the Olympic Games over the many years in the past, every Olympic and Commonwealth game cycle triggers massive demand for equipment across 30, 40 sports disciplines. For every javelin, boxing glove, archery bow, badminton racket, cricket ball, synthetic track surface, protective helmets, or as the Honorable Minister mentioned, even the electronics which goes into the measurements in the various events. The Commonwealth Games alone coming to Ahmedabad in 2030 creates an immediate, concrete, time-bound opportunity for manufacturers to come to Gujarat and manufacture. And here is what makes this movement unlike any before. India is not just a consumer of this demand. For the first time, India and Gujarat specifically has the policy framework, the investment intent, and the manufacturing base to become a global supplier. So it is now up to us that whether we go to the 2030 games as spectators of global sports or become the manufacturers of sporting good equipment and brand builders. I would like to, in fact, already it has been mentioned, so I will not dwell too much on this, but Gujarat is already built for scale and is ready to manufacture. We have Mundra and Kandla, two of India's most efficient ports. We are sitting at, like Honorable Minister mentioned, at the DMIC corridor. We have the GIDC infrastructure ready to plug in manufacturers. We have Ahmedabad, Vadodara, Ankleshwar, Surat. This is an industrial spine that most states can only dream of. Then, of course, we have the Gujarat's manufacturing culture, the Gujarati entrepreneurs' instinct for trade, for value creation, for global markets. This is a structural competitive advantage the way we see it. Now, 2036 के ओलंपिक गेम्स हों या 2038 की एशियाड गेम्स या उसके पहले आने वाली सभी गेम्स, the preparation, the infrastructure, the ecosystem, the training facilities, all is going to create durable economic value. The sports economy of Gujarat is being built, but now the question we have to ask all of us is, are we building the manufacturing side also? And the answer should be a resounding yes. And the model of how we do it is sitting right here in Chhotaudepur. Chhotaudepur itself, what we have studied, has distinct advantages which can really bring this industrial base to alive here. Much has been spoken, so I will not get into too much of that, but I can only tell you one thing, that although, for example, the traditional skills of Chhotaudepur lie in bamboo, now global sports equipment is increasingly becoming economically, eco-friendly, sustainable, bamboo-based and naturally sourced products. The premium sports market is also moving towards this. So how, as entrepreneurs, can we actually use this to our advantage? Economic Master Plan for CGER has already identified Chhotaudepur Sports Equipment Hub as the game-changing plan. The GIDC is engaged. Sportscom is here. Sports, Youth and Cultural Activities Department of the Government of Gujarat is co-organizing this very conference. So all this coming together. Now the question is, from this seminar, we have to ask, where are the plans to make this plan on paper move ahead? We have this 3 horizon strategy, and I will leave it here. I will not go into too much detail on this because I don't want to take much. But the important thing is the strategy is in place. We have the low-hanging fruits. For example, if you were to look at the easiest to manufacture are balls, gloves, basic fitness equipment, cricket gear. These we are already proven capacity building capacity in India. How do we scale it up? Horizon 2 is the capability shift, where we move into the higher value technology intensive segments, protective gear, badminton and racket, sports equipment, synthetic floors, archery equipment. These are the segments where India can achieve competitive scale within the decade itself. Horizon 3 is the innovation, building for the future, smart tech, integrated equipment, wearable performance technology, advanced composites. These require R&D centers, university industry partnerships, and patient capital. But we must begin now because Horizon 3 in 2036 requires the seeds to be planted today, 2026. So therefore, I would just like to leave this 36 vision with you and come quickly to the last section, that what do we need? I'm not going to go into so many details, but I would simply like to just close with this, that how do you take this concept to functioning manufacturing? The decisions have to be taken by the people in this room, and we will be having a panel discussion after that, and I would request you to please examine that points. To the government officials here, the single most impactful thing we can do is eliminate the cost disability, reduce customs duty on raw materials not produced in India, provide affordable land in industrial clusters, fast track common facility centers with testing and certification infrastructure, make GSFC University, where we are holding the seminar, and similar institutions partners in skill development. To the industry leaders who are here today, be bold about Chhotaudepur. The land costs are low, the labor is skilled and available, the raw material is local, the government is willing. First movers here will not just make profits, they will build legacies. You have the opportunity to become something like a Tata Steel of sports equipment, to be the anchor investor who attracts the entire ecosystem. To the researchers and academics, I believe some of them are present, we need better data, better product design, and better certification pathways. Help us close the gap between traditional knowledge and modern standards. And to the young people in the room, students, entrepreneurs, tribal youth from this region, you are the one who will actually build this, not us, not the policymakers. You, the factory floors of Chhotaudepur are not built in conference rooms. They are built by young people who decide to take a risk, learn a skill, start a unit, and take a product to market. The government is here to support. India is not short of aspiration. We are not short of ambition. We are sometimes short of execution. So today, let us commit in this room to close that gap. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to think about that image we saw right in the very beginning, 2036, the Olympics, India, home soil. The world will watch, billions of eyes will be on Indian athletes, Indian infrastructure, Indian hospitality, and for those 2 weeks, India will be the sporting capital of the world. Let us ensure that the hockey sticks, the javelins, the footballs, the hurdles, the helmets, the tracks on which those games are played are all made in India. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for providing a roadmap for unlocking the sector's potential. Moving on, to share the Government of India's vision for strengthening the sports sector and promoting sports goods manufacturing in the country, it is a privilege to welcome Shri Vinil Krishna, sir, Joint Secretary, Department of Sports, Khelo India, onto this. Before that, may I request Ms. Gargi, ma'am, Collector Chhotaudepur, to kindly felicitate, sir. Please welcome, sir, with a huge round of applause.
Presentation was there. Honorable Union Minister, sir, dignitaries on the stage and distinguished audience, good afternoon to all of you. As you're all aware that our Honorable Prime Minister has given us a very grand vision for development of sports in the country. And ever since our Honorable Minister has taken charge, in the last 2 years, there has been huge momentum in the sports sector. A lot of efforts are being made, a lot of changes are being made, especially if I enumerate in the last 1.5 year. Some of the things that have happened were unbelievable earlier. In July last year, the Khelo Bharat Niti was launched. In August, the National Sports Governance Act and Anti-Doping Act was passed by the Honorable Parliament. This act was something that was being tried for a very, very long time and thought it was not possible. But then our Honorable Minister made it possible. And as you know, the Commonwealth Games was announced in Ahmedabad. In the union budget, the Khelo India mission has been announced. Sports goods sector, which was not with the Ministry of Sport, has been brought from DPIIT to Sports Ministry, and large number of conclaves were organized, stakeholder consultations were made, and the union budget announced the sports goods manufacturing scheme and also allocated 500 crores in the first year itself. So there's a huge momentum in the sports sector in the country. If I mention briefly about the Khelo India mission, so we are not talking about 2x or 3x the budget. It's almost like we are talking about 8x, 10x kind of a budget. So this kind of a momentum for sport is unheard of or unparalleled in the sports history of the country. And over the next 10 years is going to be a completely transformative decade for the sports development in the country. Today, we are not very happy with what India does at the sports at the global level, whether it's the Olympics or even the ongoing FIFA or so many other things. But then I'm sure at the end of the next decade, we are going to be somewhere where we are all going to be really proud of the sports in the country. And as you all know, that 2036 hopefully will be a landmark year for us, organizing the Summer Olympics, for which we are bidding. We are also bidding for the 2038 Asian Games. And in all these activities, we see that the state that is leading this is Gujarat. Now, almost if you look at Ahmedabad, it's every month there are like at least 2 international tournaments that are happening in the state. And 2030 is going to be very transformative landmark year for the country and as well as for the Gujarat and Ahmedabad. And we see that today it's very heartening to know that the government of Gujarat has taken such a positive step towards identifying the Chhotaudepur district as the nodal district for this hub, and also having so many other integrative incentives for making this happen. So I'll just give you a very brief perspective of what the ministry is doing and where we are on the sector. So after a lot of consultations, conclaves, Chintan Shivers and stakeholder meetings, finally we had the Niti Aayog report, which was launched in a very short period of 3-4 months, which is again unparalleled. And then within next 2 months, we even circulated the financial procedures that we have in the Government of India, which we call it as a EFC. So that is under circulation, and we are hoping that in the next couple of months, the government will give approval for this scheme. So today we'll briefly present about the overall framework of the scheme and various components. We hope that this scheme will attract large number of investment, especially with the active support of Gujarat. The Chhotaudepur can emerge as a major manufacturing hub for the sports goods equipment. Next. So if we provide an overall view, it's not like India is not there somewhere in the sports goods map, especially in the Asia, we are there, but it is totally dominated by China. So that's a different matter. The almost like all close to 48-50% is dominated by China. But still we have a base, and it's a traditional base. It's a historic. We have some of the very important people from the industry here. Many of them could be like 3rd generation, 4th generation who are into this sector. So we have a very long legacy of sports goods manufacturing in the country, and this is mainly concentrated around Meerut and Jalandhar. But now the time has come where it will expand within these 2 clusters as well, and also across the country, especially port-based. So in some of the equipment, like let's say the cricket equipment, or even we are surprised that something related to rugby, some of our manufacturers are actually producing world-class equipment and are dominating that particular field. So therefore, if we are able to do it in certain sport discipline, there is no reason why we can't do it in the other and dominate in many other sports disciplines. So we are exporting to a large number of countries. We are almost 300 plus categories are there, and cricket equipment, of course, we are the number 1. But still there are large number of challenges in this particular sector. especially because we are not able to scale it up, primarily because the industries that are involved here are very, very small industries. They are MSME related industries, so that base is a bit low. Second most important challenge that we are facing is that the innovation factor. As you know, the sports equipment are evolving continuously. It's an era of innovation, era of science. So here the innovation within this sector is also again quite challenging. At the same time, now the new generation is very brand conscious. So unless we build our own brands, it's very difficult to actually have the presence globally. It's very interesting to know that many of the equipment that our manufacturers make, they actually make it as a contract for the global brands. So we have the know-how, we have the material, we have the skill and technology to make it. But since we don't have the brand, we manufacture and let's say give it to a very big global brand. They will put their sticker and then sell it back to us at a premium. Because we also in the country are very conscious that if we are playing certain sport, we should buy the best. Like if you are buying a shoe, even anybody who's serious about sport, he will say that I want only Nike or Adidas. We are not willing to accept any other brand, even though it might be an Indian brand and the quality also might be equally good. So this creating that brand image is also something that is extremely important for the sports sector. So that's where again we have a challenge. And one of the most important challenges that we face is the raw material problem. And especially some of the raw material needs to be imported. For example, if we have to make the hockey sticks, it requires a carbon fiber. So that we don't manufacture in India. So it's again dominated, it's a monopoly by a few couple of countries in the East Asian region, and therefore we are completely dependent. So as rightfully pointed out in the presentation by Aparna ma'am, that Gujarat is rightly placed because there is a huge industrial base. You have polymers, you have polyester, you have so many technical textiles and other related raw materials, which can actually, with some tweaking, can provide the kind of material that is required for sports goods as well. So hence, Gujarat is one of our primary destinations for this particular scheme, and we hope that we together will launch it very quickly. Overall, as already mentioned, that government is already taking a lot of initiatives in terms of how we strengthen the sports goods manufacturing thing. 500 crores is allotted in the first year itself for the sports goods manufacturing. As I mentioned, Khelo India Bharat Niti 2025 has been launched. One of the main aim of this policy is to strengthen the sports goods manufacturing. With the National Sports Federation, we are encouraging them. We have asked them to form the Make in India committees, analyze what are all the products that are already available in India. Please purchase that. Please give them the certifications that are required so that they get the market that is available within the country itself. So that is again something that we are closely working with the Sports Federation. Another very important step that our Honorable Minister has taken is in the Srinagar Chintan Shivir, where Srinagar Khel Sankalp was dedicated. So that as part of that declaration, the cooperative federalism has been prominently highlighted, that center and the states have to work together, and therefore even in this particular scheme for sports goods manufacturing, the center will be closely working with the Gujarat state government to make it happen. And also very important, as I said, regarding the brands and all that, deepening this global manufacturing partnerships is very important. So we are in touch with many of these manufacturers. We had the meetings with Nike, Puma, Skechers, Adidas, and so many other global brands, and we are continuously trying to do this one. Further, we are in the process of planning an international exhibition also once in 2 years thing. So these partnerships will also further help our own manufacturers to be part of the entire global supply chain and global ecosystem. So broadly, this scheme is under consideration of the Ministry of Finance. So I'll not be able to reveal too many of the details, but at a conceptual level, which more or less the Niti Aayog report highlights, and we are also able to convince at various levels in the government that this is something that is important. So we broadly have about 8 components, which are the overall framework for this particular scheme. So I will go one by one. So first is related to the sports goods manufacturing zones. So that is where the proposal for Chhotaudepur will also come. That this is important to have a bit of a cluster-based industrial growth, because there will be lot many infrastructure that can be commonly utilized. And therefore, this, for example, the trunk infrastructure that is required, industrial sheds, worker accommodations, many other common service facilities, all can be put together. So, as we know that most of the industries in this sector are MSME, so therefore this will help them in the long run. So this again will be one of the primary pillar to do this funding for the infrastructure. So that's where the Chhotaudepur, I'm sure, will take the first mover advantage in this regard. Next. Second is the anchor investment support. So we are also trying to see that if there are any anchor investors, like how we said that companies like Nike, Adidas, and so on and so forth. So we are also discussing with the Ministry of Textiles, Ministry of the Commerce, the DPIIT, because the non-leather footwear is with the DPIIT, the textiles is with the Ministry of Textiles. But more often we see that the sports goods manufacturers, they also not only do the sports equipment, but they also do related to textiles, the sportswear, the athletic leisure, the goods, and also the footwear. So therefore, we are trying to integrate all the three ministries' work in these zones. So if any anchor investor is there, then they will get special further consideration, which I am sure the Gujarat government will further top up and try to bring them here. So that again will help in creating that ecosystem within the industrial hub. So there some additional incentives are also being offered. Next. Turnover linked support. Nowadays there are many schemes that are there in the government of India where there is a production linked and certain supports are given, so that whatever the incremental production, because the primary objective is key, how do we increase the production? So that incentive hand holding in the initial years is important, because again at a global level, not only for the domestic consumption but also for the exports, it's a very, very competitive market. The price margins are very, very competitive. So therefore, unless we provide that hand holding support for the investor, probably the industry may not be launching at a large scale. So therefore, there are incentives that are being thought of within this overall framework for turnover linked support over a few years, so that the industry also stabilizes. Next. And as I already mentioned, that traditionally we have Meerut and Jalandhar as the main sports goods manufacturing hubs in the country, a legacy. So there, if you go, there are a large number of small industries. So that particular cluster also needs to be further strengthened and expanded. So a separate vertical, separate component has been dedicated for these two clusters. And if any other small clusters are there, Tamil Nadu has a few clusters. So we'll try to see how this can further help in the infrastructure development, certain common facilities, so that again scaling up becomes easier. Next. One of the most critical entry barrier for these sports goods manufacturers is related to certification. Testing and certification is very important, because the certification is again controlled by the international federations. So if unless they have a certification from the international federation, they will not get the ready market for selling their goods internationally, especially. So therefore, the testing infrastructure and the certification related whatever financial support that is required, because for every product, every equipment, there is an yearly royalty, and there is a first time there is a certain cost, then the renewal also has a cost. So it's a lot of costs that the manufacturers incur. So the intent of the government is that this is something that we can provide this support, which is readily can be done from the first year itself, so that our manufacturers, many of them have very quality equipment. But for them to go to the international federation, go to the international testing agencies and get those certifications, it's a very long one, the process problem. Second is also the funding problem. So we are trying to see how we can provide them that hand-holding support, provide them the financial support, so that they do all these quality and compliance benchmark. Then the markets will open up, not only for in India, but across the world. So this is a very, very important part. The sixth component, as I pointed out, the innovation, the research is something that is extremely important. One perspective is that most of the research that is done in sports is related to the European and Western world, whereas our Indians and Indians body composition or the Indians requirement is probably quite different. So therefore, the research one aspect is how do we ensure these equipments or the sports related aspects are researched and customized to the Indian perspective. Secondly, also that how do we ensure that our products are the best in the world, and therefore research is a very, very important component. So there is already something called as an Anusandhan National Research Foundation. It provides the research grants. So we have already launched about 5 projects along with them. We intend to do more. So this is again a collaboration that we will be doing with the industry, so that we ensure that we are not only manufacturing the existing kind of equipment, but also we try and research and do whatever comes in the future. We need to have the futuristic kind of a mindset as well. So this is something again a very important component. We'll be collaborating with the academic research institutions. We'll be collaborating with the industry to ensure that the leading research should start happening in the country. So here again, if any laboratories are there, testing facilities needs to be set up in India. The outside testing agencies, they want to set it up in India. Again, there is a viability gap that we need to do in the initial years. So again, we are providing for VGF here, viability gap funding. And third aspect is we had a meeting with the skill development ministry as well. The Honorable Union Minister in Skill Development, he has taken a keen initiative that we should provide the skill development required, because many of the manufacturing aspect, equipment aspect is also related to labor intensive. This is one of the very labor intensive field. So therefore, the skill development for this labor is also something that is very important. So this also been included within our own scheme, and at the same time, we are collaborating with the Ministry of Skill Development. Next. As I said, the innovation and research is important, and this is where again the startups play a very important role. It was very heartening for us to know that DPIIT has a list of more than 600 startups related to sports alone. So therefore, we are trying to see how we can have a funding mechanism, engagement mechanism to deal with these startups and ensure that we have a very strengthened innovation pipeline across the field. It's not only about basic equipment, but also about, as Madam was also mentioning, there's so many other things, wearables, there are so many electronics related. So huge scope, software is also very important, athletic performance related. So there are huge opportunities that are coming up in the startup space as well, where we'll again be providing the financial support. Next. And as I already mentioned, that branding is very important. Ultimately, it is a marketing technique. Once we have the testing, we have the testing certificate, we have the certification from the international federations, we have to market that whatever comes out of India, the Make in India product is a quality product. We have to market in each sports field and each product wise. So therefore, we are also having a funding mechanism through which the funding will go towards our manufacturers participating in the international trade fairs. We intend to organize once in 2 years a big international exhibition, which we hope will become one of the largest sports sector exhibition in the world. So this again is about branding the Make in India products. So these broadly are the framework in which we are working along with the finance ministry, and we intend to take it forward quickly. And under the guidance of our honorable minister, we hope that in the next 2 months we should be able to launch this scheme. And we are working with the state governments. Gujarat is going to be a very important partner for us. So I'm really happy that Gujarat has taken the lead, and we would definitely like to see that as soon as the scheme is launched. Probably somebody was asking about the land allotment and all. So hopefully this year itself, a major work related to the infrastructure and bringing the anchor investments and the other industrial attracting the other investments will happen. Thank you. I think you have a question. Fine. That's a very valid point. That is something that we'll be facilitating surely. So thank you. Thanks for the opportunity to present the framework. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing the national perspective and also the hand-holding support that will be given by the central government. Thank you so much. Moving on to our panel discussion, may I request the dignitaries to kindly take the sofa before? And may I request the team to kindly may I request the audience to kindly stand up, and our Honorable Union Minister, sir, is leaving. Please give sir a huge round of applause. Thank you so much, sir. Uh, Please be seated. We'll continue with our panel discussion. May I request the team to kindly set the table? Start. Please be seated. May I request the gathering to kindly be seated? We'll have a very insightful panel discussion. May I request everyone to kindly be seated? Moving on, following the insightful perspectives shared during the inaugural session and very insightful presentation presented by Vinil sir and Sanjeet sir, we now move on to our technical segment of today's seminar. This session brings together leaders from industry, sports institutions, and government to deliberate on the opportunities across manufacturing, investments, exports, supply chain skills, and market development. To chair this important session, may I invite Ms. Gargi Jain, IAS Collector Chhotaudepur, to kindly take the chair. May I request Shri Ketan Jadhav, Section Officer, Grid, to kindly felicitate ma'am with a memento. Please welcome ma'am with a huge round of applause. To moderate today's session, we are delighted to have with us Mr. Prashant Shantakumaran, Partner KPMG in India. May I request Mr. Devang Vegat, Consultant at GRID from KPMG, to kindly welcome sir with a memento. With over 3 decades of leadership experience, Mr. Prashant sir's expertise spans digital engineering, software development, quality assurance, and the application of technology in the sports ecosystem, covering sports leagues, government bodies, manufacturers, and corporates. May we welcome you, sir. Moving on, our next dignitary is Mr. Harilal Madhavan, Director, Department of Sports, Government of India. May I request Mr. Rohan Gaur to kindly welcome sir onto the stage. Sir is a 2008 batch ITS officer. He has held key responsibilities across the Government of India, bringing extensive experience in policy formulation, trade, and public administration. Moving on, may I request Mr. Monal Choksi, General Secretary, Swimming Federation of India, onto the stage. May I request Mr. Bharat Chaudhary to kindly felicitate sir. Mr. Choksi plays a pivotal part in shaping the strategic direction of Indian aquatics and strengthening the nation's sporting ecosystem. We welcome you, sir. Next, may I request Mr. Rakesh Kohli, Chairman STAG International, onto the stage. May I request Mr. Ketan Jadhav to kindly welcome sir. Mr. Kohli is a respected and globally recognized sports equipment brands renowned for its leadership in table tennis and sports manufacturing. We welcome you, sir. Please give sir a huge round of applause. Next, may I welcome Mr. Shiv Prakash Singh, Managing Director and CEO of Shiv Nourish Sports Private Limited. May I request Ms. Yashika Vibhandik to kindly welcome sir onto the stage. He is one of the India's most recognized sportswear and sporting solution companies. With nearly 3 decades of experience in the sports industry, Mr. Singh has played a pivotal role in advancing indigenous sports manufacturing and strengthening India's sporting ecosystem. We welcome you, sir. Moving on, may I request Mr. Ajay Kumar Pandey, sir, Director Agilitas, onto the stage. May I request Mr. Prabhat Mahato to kindly welcome, sir. He has more than 25 years of experience in the apparel, footwear, and sporting goods industry and is widely recognized for his expertise in sourcing, manufacturing, quality management, and operational transformation. We welcome you, sir. Next, may I request Mr. Arjun Anand, Director, Anand Co Sporting Corporation, onto the stage. May I request Ms. Yashika Vibhantik to kindly welcome, sir. Mr. Anand is the Director, Research and Development at Anand Co Sporting Corporation, one of the India's leading manufacturers and exporters of performance footwear, combat sports equipment, and high-performance sporting goods. Thank you, distinguished panelists, for joining us. With this, I request Ms. Gargi Jain ma'am to kindly initiate the proceedings and invite the moderator, Mr. Prashant sir, to lead the discussion. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I am Gargi Jain, Collector Chhotaudepur. As we are all discussing the upcoming sports manufacturing. अभी आवाज आ रहा है? Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm Gargi Jain, Collector Chhotaudepur. We were all discussing about the upcoming sports manufacturing equipment hub in Chhotaudepur district. Let me tell you a bit about Chhotaudepur district. It's a tribal district situated in Madhya Gujarat, and almost 80% of the population of Chhotaudepur district is tribal population, and primarily economy is based on agriculture and animal husbandry, and there are a few industrial pockets as well. So when we talk about upcoming sports manufacturing equipment facility in Chhotaudepur, it includes a number of factors which needs to be focused on, like as we all discussed that we need to focus on infrastructure, we need to focus on skilled manpower availability and availability of raw material, and then we have to talk about marketing and branding, as we all know that present generations is a bit conscious about brand. So when we talk about establishing a new brand, we can think of connecting the products which we will be manufacturing in this sports equipment facility. We can connect it with existing brands, and then we can think of some other new brands. We can explore all these things in this panel discussion. I request moderator Mr. Prashant to start with the panel discussion.
Good evening, everyone. I think hope the energy of the room is still high. Yeah, so that's give a big kind of hand to everybody here. So just as an introduction, I lead the sports sector for KPMG. I've been in KPMG for 16 years. I myself play sports, so I play soccer regularly, and hope next time I play soccer, I buy the ball from Chhotaudepur. So that's the thing. And I also was very excited to be here because I started my career in Baroda and now Vadodara. I initially worked here for 6 years and then I moved across. So it's exciting to be part of it and to know that manufacturing in sports good is coming very close to Baroda. So that's just a background. So there were a lot of talk about the sports industry actually, and we see that sports industry is close to about 21 billion right now, growing at almost 14%. So it's almost growing at double the GDP from a viewpoint of how things are panning out. We also sized out the sports good manufacturing, which is about 6.7 billion. And you know the export, which is about 300 million of it. we see that growing at almost becoming 10 billion by 2030. So there's a massive opportunity for sports good in India, and in fact, one of the biggest subsectors within the sports side, sports manufacturing, sports infrastructure. These are big areas. So I have a very esteemed panel. So I think a lot of things spoken about today in terms of Meerut, Jalandhar. Just want to get their perspective on what Chhotaudepur needs to do in terms of scaling it up. So maybe I'll just start off with Harilal ji in terms of the government impetus. I think a lot was spoken about, but what are the additional things that the government possibly will do to support Chhotaudepur to become a major hub? So maybe you can, maybe you can start us.
Thank you. As my Joint Secretary Neil sir has already explained in his presentation, Government of India is coming up with a sports goods manufacturing incentive scheme, which promotes the entire manufacturing ecosystem of sports goods in the country, which includes a dedicated support for the growing clusters also. So traditionally, we know Jalandhar and Meerut is a traditional cluster, and I think, as somebody's language, it says accidental clusters because it happened over a period of history. After this partition, it became a cluster once the migrant population came to Eastern Punjab. So the original cluster was Sialkot earlier, and Sialkot is at least 2 to 3 times bigger than Jalandhar and Meerut all together. So after that, we have not thought of, or Government of India or Government of other state may not have thought of formation of a dedicated cluster in other parts of the country. And this is the first time in the last few years that we are thinking and talking about a sports goods manufacturing zone in different parts of the country, because we have heard about PM Mitra scheme, and we have heard of special parks for gems and jewelry, special park for IT, special park for special manufacturing zone for chemical, petroleum industries, and so on and so forth. And this is the first time that we are talking about sports goods manufacturing as a whole. So that is one of the thing, that innovative thing, that is a new thing that we are brought in. And when we are talking about a zone, the success of the zone depends on few anchor investors. So anchor investors has to come, whether it is foreign or whether it is Indian. Once the anchor investors come and they place their faith in that particular region or that cluster, then the cluster will surely take its place. So you have seen that why some shopping malls are successful, because there are some anchor tenants there. So similarly, when Gujarat government is talking about Chhotaudepur as a sports goods manufacturing zone, the first focus should be on anchor investors. So the people who are willing to invest few hundreds of crores, which will create an entire ecosystem and which will act as a magnet for MSMEs and other players to come and invest. So my word of advice to the Gujarat government or the officers who are in charge of this cluster is that we should focus on anchor investor, and once the anchor investor come, then the things will go on smoothly. So our scheme caters for both formation of the cluster as well as the support that we are going to give for the anchor investors. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I think what you're saying is that it'll be a continuous support from the central. Sports is a state subject, but they'll have to take the lead, but the support will be given from the central. You also mentioned about Sialkot. I think the world's football is pretty much produced from that region right now. There is an opportunity to bring back to some of the regions in India as well. So I'll just maybe take it to Manalji, who is going to continue the investment from a Gujarat side. So maybe Manal, from your side, what do you see as the areas of thrust within the Chhotaudepur? The reason is that I think the industry is broadly divided, where the Jalandhar manufactures a lot of football. I think mostly the cricket equipments are Meerut. This is subdividing. So is there any classification, or because now 2030 Commonwealth Olympics is also coming up, you see a lot of equipment needed for other sports as well. So any thought around that or any directive around that?
Well, thank you. And firstly, let me thank GRIT and the government of Gujarat for having me over here amongst this very august audience on this very so important topic. Uh, though I'm an entrepreneur, I'm wearing the hat of a federation today. So I'll answer it from the sports perspective. See, Chhotaudepur and Gujarat has extremely entrepreneurial business related advantages. Gujarat has a engineering, petrochemical, uh, all forms of other industries, textile being one of them. So there are a lot of natural advantages of the industrial manufacturing sectors that are already available in Gujarat. Chhotaudepur as a choice, as was also demonstrated, is also a great location from a connectivity, global and domestic point of view. But I would slightly digress from this because I'm talking more from the sports side of things. I'm sure a lot of people in this room would have seen the movie for about Nike, how Nike became what Nike is, and what that product Air, the shoe, made Nike famous globally. So that movie itself gives us a story of risk taking, innovation, entrepreneurship, and a belief amongst the people who started Nike and they were struggling. I'm sure if we look at any other manufacturing, sports good manufacturing stories like Yonex or all the other products out there, there is a story like Nike somewhere over there. Given the time frame that we are going to be working in, the vision of the Prime Minister, we do not have time to go through that kind of a transition through the learning curve and to learn from our mistakes. What speakers before me presented, what China has done. China learned everything from the US, the Japan, be it LCD manufacturing or sports apparel, sports goods, etc. So the best way moving forward is to manufacture at scale. Once again, when we are talking of sports good in a country like ours with a population like ours, we have to realize that sports goods is about recreational participation and competitive participation. You can be at both ends of the spectrum, and we need to be at both ends of the spectrum to be able to manufacture at scale. So any manufacturing is going to require economics of scale. So we are best placed to capitalize or leverage the size of our population, the Fit India movement, the population getting into sport. At the same time, collaborate with the top of the brands to be able to manufacture goods which are in the high end of the spectrum. Sir also mentioned the importance of brand recognition. At the high end of the spectrum, certainly that becomes extremely important because elite sports person would not like to take the risk of, using products which they have uh, no confidence on, I would say. So it takes time to build that confidence. So we have to adopt a multifaceted strategy. But having said that, this is an extremely bold move by the government of India. I think it is very applaudable, and we should, all make serious efforts towards trying to make this a huge success because not only it makes a lot of business sense, but it's also so very important because the image, my speaker, I'm sorry, I couldn't get the Sunitji, I think. No, Sunitji, I think, presented. That was one of the most powerful images that one could, all of us in the room could see. That was 2036. Indians playing with Indian goods on Indian turf. So I think we have a great story. It's our job to make it a success.
Yeah. So what you're saying is the impetus is on us to make it big, and everything lies because Gujarat has done it. If this state cannot do it, no other state can do it.
I
Actually,
won't say that. I won't say that. Gujarat is well placed.
Yeah.
There are many other states who can do it, but the issue is do it the right way.
Okay. Okay. So I'll come to Shiv Prakash ji in terms of the initial part of investments from Chhotaudepur. What areas, testing labs, those kind of, because you yourself manufacture a lot of sport good and So what would that be? Secondly, how do you differentiate between the other region? Is there any segmentation or positioning that you would do, make it high end, or any suggestions from your side?
Thank you very much. Actually, I am mainly we are the manufacturer of the sports apparels, and for sports goods, Rakesh ji will give the better answer. But as far as sports apparel is also a very big market, and if we are talking about the Chhotaudepur, if we have to hire the local people, then we have to local people will be better for garment section also, and the skill development is there, and we also give a very good training to our employees, so that is possible in that area. And most important is what we heard about Gujarat, that it is a quite industrial uh, uh, जैसे इंडस्ट्री सपोर्ट के लिए यहाँ की जो गवर्नमेंट है वो बहुत अच्छा काम करती है, इंडस्ट्री जो भी लगाता है उसको परेशानी नहीं होती. देयर इज अ सिंगल विंडो सिस्टम विच वी हर्ड, एंड वी फील दैट इज द मेन point where the people will come for the investment here. And if they have they are going to invest, they are going to attract the garments, sports apparel garments. I think if you can think in this Chhota Nagpur, we will consider that also, and will tell other people also to join here. Just one thing, because I'm getting some opportunity. As our government is doing a lot, which I have seen, Vinil sir has given a lot of details about all the brand build-up, and the brand build-up is there. The most important is government is supporting, as well as if they are really going to support the Indian brands as early as possible through federations, then what the dream of Sumit sir is there for 2036, then it is going to be definitely achieved. Thank you.
Thank you. So I think I just want to move on to Rakesh Koliji in terms of from Stag International. Given traditional craftsmanship, how can local artisan be upskilled? So upskilling and training is a very, very important part. So what are the ways in which it can be done? So maybe if we can outline that.
So before I answer that question, I have a small remark to make. I have been into this business of sporting goods for almost 50 years. In these 50 years, we have been trying to meet the ministry. Maybe we could get, after a lot of effort, 2 or 3 meetings a year. Now we are getting more than 2 or 3 a week, and more on the initiative of the ministry rather than the industry. So that
everybody big hand actually, yeah.
So that speaks volumes on what the government of India is doing today to bring sporting goods manufacturing on the international stage from India. Now, when I was invited for this event here, I was looking at what we are looking at. So I thought we're looking at bamboo, which is furniture. We're looking at huge labor which is available. We're looking at a lot of infrastructure development which can be done. And I thought about table tennis tables. And I thought, how many tables does the world need in a year? And the answer was almost 40 to 50 lakhs. We do almost 40,000, 50,000 tables a year. Now, out of this 40, 50 lakhs, if we leave 15 lakhs to China, let us forget it. The 35 lakhs. We get 10% of that. Where do we go? So, and this is just part of it. And what we are using, the local production, bamboo. What we are doing, we are empowering the locals. We're getting the labor from the local place. And we are building a brand, an ecosystem. We are building something from India which can be taken internationally. We are already doing quite strong as far as table is concerned. Our brand is the most exported brand of sports goods from India. And if it is produced here in Gujarat, and the volumes which can be struck. So today we get stuck because India doesn't produce MDF in 5 feet size. We have particle board. So what we are trying to do, we are trying to push particle board. It's not that easy because the world needs MDF. And with this bamboo, I think we can definitely produce very good MDF which is eco-friendly. So this is just one part of it. Now add to it the caroms, the foosball tables, the pool tables. It adds 40,000 crores, 30,000 crores, and it can be here. Thank you.
Sir, I think you have very well articulated a set of items already that can be manufactured from here, actually. So that's a good direction for the location to take up, actually. Yeah.
And these are
Locally,
speaking,
yeah.
low-hanging fruits.
Low-hanging
As
fruits,
Sanjeev
actually.
ji
Yeah.
rightly said. These are the low-hanging fruits.
Yeah, yeah. I think to your point in terms of the support from ministry, at least I've seen great length in the last 3-4 years in terms of the sports build-up. At least every year we have at least 15 to 20 seminars orchestrated by the SAI and the ministry just to get it done. So I think commendable job done, and that's helping. And last year, sports manufacturing was brought as part of the ministry. That also has been a big boon for it. Yeah, so I'll just move on to Ajay Kumar ji in terms of he's there. Agilitas, I think anybody now Virat Kohli associates with Agilitas, and so maybe your perspective in terms of getting tech and the industry landscape. So one part of it is the raw material side. If you can highlight that part of it, how you do it, and what would be the suggestion for Chhotaudepur when they build up their manufacturing facilities?
Yeah, technology, yes, technology is important, but I believe, based on my experience, not only Agilitas, but before I was heading manufacturing excellence and quality for global Puma. In India, we used to import, especially from India to globe, hardly 2%, 7-8 years before. And slowly, for the last 10 years, from 2016 to 2024-25, we reduced the import. The only problem, two issue. Sorry, I'm just wanted to become a devil advocate and trying to tell what all the problem we are facing in India. Yes, heartening to know how the government of India and government of Gujarat supporting the manufacturer. But it's very, very important even before we deploy any technology, advanced technology, we need to make sure our foundation should be strong. And it's very, very important we should have a right people at all stages, like owner level, so that it's not about what customer is asking, either equal 2.5, equal 1, or 60-day lead time or 90-day lead time. It's we need to benchmark ourselves and not wait for customer to ask for equal 1 or equal 2.5. Like few months back, I heard about Mr. Modi, our Prime Minister Modi told about zero defect, zero effect, and like zero defect to make and zero effect from it's come from the you need obsessed people to make things done. And like if you see today I was listening, I don't remember your name, but I was listening about talking about the Nike, Adidas, Puma. We are like so old, like why can't we make any global brand from India? That's why Agilitas is starting with 1.8, and our goal not to make only for India, to globe, so that like how US people come to anywhere and then proudly they say Nike or Under Armour belong to us. The same vision is there, high performance brand from India to global, so that any Indian go out of India and make sure that this is our brand. So that's the vision, and I believe three things is very, very important. One is we have to have a right people, trained well. A lot of time I feel here, like 100 years before polyester nylon, which is 75%. I'm just telling you the apparel perspective lens. 70% of goods which is globally consumed is it man-made fiber. But if you see India export, or even in India, if you go for the niche category, it's hardly 0.5 or 0.7%. We are doing, but we are not doing anything. Like if you see top 5 brand, Nike, Adidas, Puma, they are hardly importing for India to globe. Yeah, they are doing some, we are doing some, we used to do some product in India, but just to make sure to get some, because of government limitations. So we need to make sure we create a whole ecosystem, not only just for the sake of making our short-term profit, but we need to think long-term. And we have to, I believe we have to invest in innovation. That's very, very important, and that takes time.
No, I think Agilitas at this point of time at least has created one aspirational brand that people would want to buy, and positioning it also very well. So it could be a model that many other countries, for example, if you look at Kookaburra ball, which Australia pretty much control, I think whole of the white ball cricket is controlled by a single company. So there are opportunities like that, that if you can get very niche segmentation, you can pretty much become a leader in that segment. So there are opportunities for us to segment that and do work there. So I think thanks for your input, and I'll come to Arjun ji in terms of the export side. I think what we are trying aspirationally is to increase the overall industry is about close to 7 billion, and export is like sir was saying 230 240 million, very low. So what kind of incentives are needed there from an export perspective? What positioning, the aspects that need to drive export?
Thanks, Gujarat government, for bringing me here. And thanks, Vinil sir and Ministry of Sports. What all efforts they are doing together with our sports manufacturing industry and sport come together, listening to everyone and, getting all the views from everyone. I would say rather a low manufacturing unit to a highest manufacturing unit coming to Jalandhar and Meerut. So what all, they have already absorbed from us is already there on the paper, which sir has presented. And moreover, me telling some points which are beyond that, I guess already Gujarat government is already working on them. Like they told that they are going to give some incentives and all those things, which are probably going to be the add-on for any manufacturer who's right now taking this golden opportunity, I would say, to get into this business. The reason I was attracted to this point, I know this Olympic or Commonwealth would not come to Meerut or Jalandhar. This is coming to Gujarat. And I would honestly tell you, like in India, we have maximum sports shops in Patiala. There's a reason. Because there's a lot of exposure of federations and coaches and athletes in Patiala. So even the small shopkeepers make a huge margin because they are in the exposure of that sports ecosystem. So similarly, I feel like right now this Gujarat has this given a bright opportunity to all of us, and I don't want to waste it because I know you. I mean, there's all coaches, there's all people are going to be here, and I want to be part of it. I am distributing few of the China brands. They started their career in like Beijing Olympics, and they are right now like having orders till 2045. They are so busy. So, and they were like not dominating. They were like the childs when they started in Beijing Olympics. So I see this a fair opportunity, and you giving us that platform. I mean, obviously, hosting Olympic is a big exercise which you need to do, and then also, you taking care of this whole manufacturers. You have a great mindset and a great, I guess, idea for this for whole this ecosystem to go successful. And I again congratulate and thank everyone who's taking part of it. Thank you so much.
So, Arjunji, you have already signed up, so you have somebody already coming on board. That's very good. So maybe I'll open it up for audience question in the limitation of time. I think anything, yeah.
No, this is what I wanted them to share when the Honorable Minister was here. So none of them, or only Monalbai is based here, but none of the others are based here today. What will it take them to come here? What are the three things that you need?
Yeah. What are the three things that you need?
One thing to say is obviously like I guess everyone from Ministry of Sports understand it. Like obviously there's a field of play in Olympics, in Commonwealth, which you can't, I guess, enforce on the federations to use that Indian equipment. But along with that, there's a training venue also where you have, like, for example, if you are hosting an international event, so it's a compliance to have one FOP, which is the field of play, and then you have 5 6 training venues. At least to that you can make the Indian goods compulsion, right? That's something is a hosting nation can do that. And obviously, once we are part of this ecosystem where we have unit over here, I know, like, having a stall over that at your event, right? And then bringing people to the factory and showing them the infra, it's a win. I mean, it's 100% win for everyone. I feel that that's how even we are doing even in Jalandhar or Meerut. I mean, I can ask Rakesh uncle. He know how many coaches and how many athletes. I mean, their journey is like the same. Like they might give a table tennis racket to an international athlete and then invite him to the factory. So if certainly there's an event in Delhi, it's like so easy for them to convert that one coach from maybe any XYZ country, and later when that player once go back to his country, he use his racket and then they send an email back to them that we need a container of it, right? So this how it's a simple fundamental process how the whole industry goes.
To answer the question, what as a manufacturer I would need to come to Gujarat to start my manufacturing here? So that was the question. So I would say, like, of course, incentives you have spelled out quite well. As a brand, I would like to look at something more because when I feel that, okay, if Stag is here, then you have a fair advantage to get so many others. But one thing which I see missing in all the presentations here and what I have been propagating all through is that if you want to have Indian investment, what you're doing is very good. If you want to have international investment, we need to have some kind of tax holidays. We need to lower the taxes. Especially, I mean, if you want to have international investment, if the tax is maybe it's 50% tax of what's normal, or if it's a 10% tax only, then a lot of international investment will come in. And that is where you're going to grow exponentially. If you want to do 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x, fine. It's fine what you're doing. But 50x, you'll need to think of that.
So if I can add to that, not that I'm a manufacturer, but I'm just giving an example of a swimsuit, race suit brand, which is new, a kid on the block. There's always been Speedo, Arena, and TYR. But there's a new brand in the US called A3. And they're very keen to explore the Indian market. So to attract this kind of brands, which are world class, have the innovation, they've gone through the learning curve. The advantages are that technical textiles and textiles per se are a strength in Gujarat. It's a matter of choosing the right kind of count, the right kind of fabric, and then have the stitching capabilities which are already there. So there has to be a collaborative partnership, and we have to build at scale. I know I appreciate the efforts that have been put in by Jalandhar, Meerut, etc., to build a pretty large operations organically. But there is no more time to build organically. We have to grow fast. So we have to have automation. We have to have gone through the learning curve, collaborate with those people, and bring in those products which can be done. From aquatic sports, there are so many things like goalposts. Somebody was just mentioning that they were making goal. Stag was in fact making goalposts for water polo. There's no reason why that product cannot be certified by the World Aquatics.
Sorry.
There's a lot of water polo balls which are made in India and they are missing the international accreditation. So that is where the federations can be helpful. But from a Chhotaudepur perspective, since we are starting from zero base and we already have people like Stag, which have a considerable global reputation as anchor Indian investors. Same way, I think if we were to, collaborate with international brands from a sports specific perspective, there are many, many more such opportunities that we can, dive deeper into and facilitate from a federation point of view.
Just to add a little bit, like the industry started in 50s at Meerut. And why did it start in Meerut? Why did it start in Jalandhar? Let us come back to that. The industry started in Meerut because against whatever properties we had in Sialkot, the government of UP provided us a 2-room house, 1 room for working and one room for your use. And that is how the entire industry, and that is how the entire brands, whether it is SG or Stag or many other brands from Meerut, who have come up from those two-room houses. So, and they had nothing. They were provided some space. I'm talking about a time when the entire cluster was shifted to a particular place just by providing this small incentive. Today, things are totally different. What you're providing is much, much, much more than what we were provided at that time. So there is every likelihood to have these clusters, not only in Gujarat, but in every part of the country. Because what we are getting now, we couldn't have never dreamt of at that time. So I think we are in a very good way there.
Maybe you want to add?
Yeah, actually, as I told, the India itself is going to become a very big market, very, very big market. And the Gujarat, which is quite a industrial family facilities provider, they are treating industry as a very, very supportive by the administration. That is my point.
Any final question from anybody? Maybe yeah, one of you.
Hello. So I have a very simple question. Like if we want to make our manufacturers profitable in sports manufacturing, I think we need to increase the consumption of it. And to increase the demand of it, we need an infra also.
Yeah.
So let's say we always tell to the world that India is a youth rich country. But I must say that India is infra deficient and coach deficient. So basically, we need that level of coaches and that level of infrastructure. And if we cannot increase that infrastructure, we cannot increase the manufacturing things. So basically, I once upon a time I called to the sports ministry and I asked them that we are trying to make Commonwealth Games and Olympics. So do we have a facility of, let's say, even 200 people or 200 sports people can play at a time in a same kind of infra like what other Commonwealth game or Olympics.
Okay.
So in that such cases that we do not have enough infra, and even we have so many infra places that we are using for even the public gatherings or socials, and even the playgrounds are using for that.
Okay.
So I must suggest
I think
that
got the question.
yeah,
You're
and then I
saying-
have a suggestion for this.
Yeah.
We have a lot of idle land, where we are
Okay.
using. We can use it as a sports infrastructure on a PPP model.
Okay.
So let's say if, because it is not a profitable business to make an infra, I need 9 to 10 crore rupees to create such indoor pavilion.
Yeah, I got it. Actually, I think there will be maybe I had some people. Yeah.
Just half a minute. Sir, young man, I'll just like to tell you that profit is not the motive of your work. The profit is the it's when you work well, you get profits. So don't think about profits. Think about what you can do. What you have said later, all acceptable. But what you said, that how can we make profit? Profit you can make by doing good work.
Yeah, I think maybe another viewpoint.
I kind of slightly disagree. When you say infra deficient, India is not infra deficient. Most of the states, including Gujarat, have extremely good quality sports infrastructure at the district level. Yes, you are correct when it says we are coach deficient, and we are also deficient in terms of quality of coaches. So yes, I do agree with you on that, but I do not agree with you on infra deficient.
Yeah, well, maybe yeah.
So only one thing, sir.
Sorry.
So can we have some policy where we can create infrastructure from our own pocket? As sir said, we do
Yeah.
not see the profit.
We have
but anything from the state government which can help us.
Yeah, we have everybody from the ministry also here. So maybe last point here.
With all due respect, sir, we've been into sports in Gujarat since last 40-45 years. And trust me, the gentleman is 100% right. The infrastructure for common men, there is infrastructure for a qualified sportsman, right? A qualified athlete, a national level athlete. But when you talk about a ground level development, you don't have it. And if you don't have a ground level development, how you get good athletes? You look at the track record.
Yeah, I think maybe somebody want to pick it up, or I can give my perspective because I'm watching this space. I think we are not infra deficient. And now more and more tech aggregators are coming also because they're seeing business in sports right now. I'm from Bangalore. Bangalore has got maybe about 200 football turfs, and you can book online and you can go and play. And I do that regularly. So I'm just saying that with the tech world coming up, there is no deficiency. It is a utilization issue of infra that if it is addressed for high performance athletes and the others, so it will come up. It is just
That is what we needed. We need to develop that.
Yeah,
Basically, that's what I mean to say.
So what kind of infra do we need
See,
for
I
playing
believe,
badminton?
have you lived in Ahmedabad also? You count the number of pickleball, paddleball, box cricket, private lands being converted by entrepreneurs just waiting for the value of the land to appreciate and at a very low investment, making it a very profitable venture, like the gentlemen say there. Most of the sports, football or any of these racket sports, do not require any major infrastructure. We can either crib and wait for the government to deliver or take our own initiative, partner with people. Most of the academies which have been created in Ahmedabad and around probably Gujarat, Baroda also, are self-owned lands where two people partner and create an academy, and it's an extremely successful business model. So where there's a will, there's a way.
Correct. So, I would first of all like to invite, and we are honored to have Padma Shri Dhanraj Pillai sir with us.
Yeah.
So, a great thank you to him. He's the hockey legend. He's a living legend basically for hockey right now. Welcome, sir. So, we are talking about the same game. What do you do with that?
No,
game kind of
I
games,
think
you know?
we have
Right?
addressed your question. So I think we can go on
How
and
do
on.
we create such more legends?
I think just to summarize, and Gagi ma'am will summarize at an overall level, but it's a fantastic initiative. A lot of people have, I feel, already very enthused about it. But maybe Gagi ma'am, you can just kind of.
ओके अभी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की हम बात कर रहे थे तो जैसा आपने बताया कि अगर हम देखें छोटे जिले जो होते हैं जैसे ट्राइबल जिला हमारा छोटा उदयपुर है तो वहाँ पे अगर आप देखेंगे अहमदाबाद वडोदरा देखेंगे तो वहाँ पे यू कैन सी अ नंबर ऑफ पैडल कोर्ट्स और फुटबॉल ग्राउंड्स एंड ऑल ऑफ दीज फैसिलिटीज आर देयर but when it comes to district like Chhotaudepur, then we are still in developing phase. So district administration Chhotaudepur has started one initiative. We have identified 6 big schools where around 2,000 to 2,500 students are residing at a place. These are residential schools run by central government. And we have a number of grants in tribal districts that include NGP, DMF, number of grants are there. So we are converging those grants and we are building facilities which can be used by all of these students. So that is a step we are initiating with, and other things are being done by government as well. As Joint Secretary Sir has rightly mentioned, the whole package central government is coming up with to cover the whole ecosystem starting from research and development, manufacturing, quality certification, then supply and marketing, branding. All of these are being covered in that package. And we hope that all these government policies as well as the risk-taking appetite of all our entrepreneurs and of Gujarat and of India can make India a leading country in this sports equipment manufacturing field. And one last point I would like to add. One of the panelists has mentioned a very good thing that we need not to focus only on professional athletes. There is one recreational sports avenue as well. And if we can see 80 to 90% of population is moving to in that particular area. So if we focus on that particular field, then this overall equipment zone can be a big success. Thanks to all the panelists for such a fruitful discussion. Thank you.
Thank you to our chair, moderator, and esteemed panelists for a rich and insightful discussion. The deliberations have provided valuable perspectives on the strategic interventions required to position Chhotaudepur as a competitive sports goods manufacturing destination and contribute to India's growing sports economy. Please give our panelists a huge round of applause. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. As we move towards the concluding segment of today's program, it is an honor to have with us Shri Dhanraj Pillai, sir, a legendary Indian field hockey player and former captain of Indian national hockey team, onto the stage. May I request Ms. Gargi ma'am, Collector Chhotaudepur, to kindly felicitate sir. Shri Dhanraj Pillai sir is a recipient of Arjuna Award. Please come onto the stage, sir. May I request Mr. Sanjeet Singh onto the stage, Shri Vinil Krishna sir onto the stage, Ms. Stuti Charan ma'am onto the stage, Shri Jalaj Jani sir onto the stage. Thank you so much. May I request Ms. Gargi ma'am to kindly felicitate sir. Please give sir a huge round of applause. It's a great privilege for us to have you with us, sir. May I invite Stuti ma'am to kindly conclude today's segment.
Good evening. Without further time delay, I firstly sincerely thank our Honorable Chief Minister and our Honorable Union Minister who gave their precious time and gave the valuable guidance how we have to move ahead. And I will just conclude that जो basic पर्पस है इस सेमिनार का, छोटा उदयपुर को एक मेगा हब बनाने के लिए स्पोर्ट्स गुड मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में द इंसेप्शन ऑफ दिस कॉन्सेप्ट जो है ईएमपी से आया है एंड अपर्णा मैम इज इंस्ट्रूमेंटल इन दिस थिंग कि उन्होंने इस जिले को एक बहुत बड़ा मकाम देने के लिए ये प्रोजेक्ट यहाँ किया है और आई एम पर्सनली थैंकफुल टू मैम एंड आवर गवर्नमेंट ऑफ गुजरात, our CM sir, who have really pondered over that and multiple steering committees में इसका discussion हुआ है. It is not just a random thought, it is a well planned, strategically planned decision. And all our seniors, ACS level, CS sir, everybody has given their views in this project and we really think that जो हमने सपना देखा है ऐसे जिले के लिए जो हमेशा छूट जाता है, क्योंकि जहाँ भी डेवलपमेंट्स आते हैं वो या तो वडोदरा चले जाते हैं, नियर बाय बड़े जिलों में जाते हैं, तो हमें हमेशा से लगता था कि हमारे जिले को क्यों छोड़ दिया जाता है. सो आई एम एक्सट्रीमली थैंकफुल टू मैम एंड आवर CM सर कि ये बड़ा प्रोजेक्ट, ये बड़ी ड्रीम्स टू फ्लाई इस डिस्ट्रिक्ट को दिए हैं. एंड स्पेशली जो हमने चूज़ किया है बिकॉज ये वो जिला है जो बड़े बड़े स्पोर्ट्स मैन को या जो महिलाएं हैं उनको प्रोड्यूस करता है. वो यहाँ पे बड़े अच्छे प्लेयर्स हैं, यहाँ पे माउंटेन को चढ़ने वाले लोग भी हैं, अच्छे आर्चर्स भी हैं, फुटबॉल में रुचि रखने वाले लोग भी हैं. सो दे आर ऑल एथलीट्स, बेसिकली दे आर बॉर्न एथलीट्स, एवरीबडी, महिलाएं हों, बच्चे हों, पुरुष हों. सो आई थिंक दिस इज द बेस्ट थिंग दैट वी कैन गिव टू दिस डिस्ट्रिक्ट विच वॉज लेफ्ट बिहाइंड. सो आई थिंक नाउ वी विल पे the new development in sports good, and I thank everybody who has participated today, all the manufacturers, distinguished panelists, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Suti ma'am, Gargi ma'am, please for a group photo. May I request Harilal sir. May I request the panelists also for a group photo? I think we had one. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a great day. Thanks. Thanks a lot.